Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, bringing the family and the fun back together.
The President's Day sales event is on strong at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. How about 0% for 72 months on all 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorns? Yeah, 0 for 72 on 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorns. How about $8,000 off 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limiteds? We Gossett at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. And how about your new 2023 Dodge Charger $27,990? There's no reason to shop anywhere else. Get to Gossett on the Pike today. New 2023 Charger $27,990, 2024 Grand Cherokee Limited $8,000 off and 0 for 72 on all 2024 Bighorns. So drive past the rest and come to the best Gossett on the Pike or shop online GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we Gossett at Gossett Motor Cars.
Charger PH 508-657, MSRP 35,930, Cherokee PC 662620, MSRP 55,760, includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
It's time for Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome in to Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you on this Friday afternoon. We're live out here at the Agri Center for the home show of the Mid-South. It's going to be going on all weekend long, so make sure you get out here at the Agri Center. Some great hours, some great prices to get in. They've been getting things going since noon today. They'll be here till 7 p.m. tonight, 10 to 7 tomorrow, and then 10 to 6 on Sunday. $10 to get in for adults, $5 for seniors at 65 and up. Military, $5 with active ID. And make sure, come by today, stop by. We're going to be giving away a ton of prizes. We've got tickets to the Tigers game next week against Charlotte. We've also got tickets for the Cal Ripken Jr. event down in Senatobia next Thursday. So make sure you stop by, say hello, and sign up for some great prizes. We'll be here for the next 3 hours doing our show, and a lot to talk about today, Brett. Very eventful last night. Tigers fall on the road to North Texas, but the Grizzlies at home, nationally televised game on TNT against the big bad Milwaukee Bucks. They get a big win going into the All-Star break, and this weekend setting up to be a really fun weekend of basketball with all the great college games we have, and with All-Star weekend festivities that will get kicked off tonight. But Brett, how are you this afternoon?
I'm doing great, Brian. I'll peek in at All-Star all weekend. I asked Keith Smith this question yesterday, his favorite part. Mm-hmm. For me, I still like the game.
Yeah.
I don't mind. The introductions are, I would say, flamboyant.
Oh, of course.
But that's okay. That's their time. I still like the game. I think the game could be improved, but we've kind of fought that fight and lost.
Yep.
And so it's not going to be improved. As I told Keith, I'm on 200 watch one of these years.
Oh, yeah.
I'm almost there like I was my first Super Bowl overtime prediction. Not last week.
Yeah.
That was the first time I broke out the second overtime.
Yeah.
But that first one, I'd test-driven that for about 6 or 7 or 8 years predicting that, and finally hit it, and everybody that forgot the previous 6 or 7 thought it was genius.
Yeah.
But last Friday was the first time I ever broke out the second one. But I broke out to 200, I'm going to say about 10 years ago, and I'm going with it again today. 200 Sunday night by one side in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
And we could get, we were just out here for the boat show. Now we're here for the home show, and it is so very nice. The exhibits today, I mean, it is extraordinary.
Yeah.
And the time of year, a lot of folks are thinking about come springtime, starting that remodel, that work, that whatever. And wherever we are, whether we're out here, and we're out here a lot through the years, whether we're here or I'm on the road, wherever we are, we're always in our Family Leisure studio. And right over our left shoulder is the Family Leisure exhibit.
Well, I'm glad you brought them up, because this whole event is sponsored by and presented by Family Leisure. And I saw on the website, and maybe enticing people to get out here by telling them this, because I know I'm excited to get back out here this weekend just for this. But one lucky person will be leaving this weekend with a spa from Family Leisure, part of the home show. So, so that is
so
awesome.
nice.
Yeah, but it's really nice out here. And like you said, we're getting close to spring. I was telling you last week, that, and I was telling Johnny Radio earlier this week that, today's spring for me. When we have guys out on the diamond in college baseball, playing baseball, that's spring for me. So it's officially spring, and so I see a lot of booths out here with outdoor
it's not
type
that
thing.
Crack of the bat that I like the wood bat, but it's close enough.
But it's a crack, that's for sure.
That's right.
And it's what I need for sure.
Last night at FedEx Forum, I know some probably going, boy, y'all sure do like losing. No, I like teams that play hard, especially in the face of extreme adversity. And the Grizzlies have been in that mode for a while now, and even in that 9-game losing streak and other losing streaks and other tough times this year, except for in the first part of the year, I think they certainly have played hard, especially in calendar year 2024. They have played hard. If they didn't, they would absolutely get mauled most nights. If they mailed it in, if they weren't responding to Taylor Jenkins like they are. I'm not trying to make any case for him to be Coach of the Year. Mm-hmm. He's not. But the facts are what they are. But last night, a lot of fun in the building. And I texted Rob Fisher at the end of the game. That was the win of the year.
Oh, absolutely. Nationally televised game.
Big bad Giannis.
Yeah, I mean, that was huge. And so I
rumor all through the building that he wasn't going to go.
Right, and that was kind of the rumor all day. And then he goes out there and starts warming up and ends up playing. Whole team playing for the Bucks last night.
He finished with 31.
Yeah, he had a really good game, but it was a little too late for the Bucks. And I think you talk about Coach Jenkins, and I know early in the season when all these injuries hadn't piled up yet, a lot of people were kind of saying maybe it's time to move on from Jenkins. I remember a lot of people saying
we rejected that.
Absolutely, I'm not talking about it. I'm talking about social media because I saw a lot of people saying Taylor Jenkins is a great developmental coach. He's great at developing talent, but then when you reach that, next tier and you're kind of going for it, is he the right guy? Well, now this year has turned into the year of developing these young guys. You've got G.G. Jackson, you've got Vince Williams, you've got some of these two-way guys, some of these 10-day guys, and now he's developing them, and you're seeing them make a difference. I mean, Lamar Stevens, what he has done in his 3 games here, it's been a lot of fun. I was telling Zach Boyd earlier today that, I'll be honest, and I don't know if you remember this, but that trade happened when we were at Dinstall's a couple weeks ago, and I was driving to Dinstall's when it broke, and so it was kind of late for me to get it, and it was a lot, we were trying to get set up, a lot was happening, but the Lamar Stevens part of
and
that
it wasn't
trade,
exactly LeBron James
No, not at all, but the Lamar Stevens part of that trade was not reported initially. It was kind of, they'll get another piece, there's going to be a player involved, but it was never Lamar Stevens, and I don't think Woj ever even said Lamar Stevens will be a Grizzly. I think Keith Smith said it. I think a couple people here locally said it, but it was nothing. It was just very weird. Some people were saying it was Lamar Stevens. Some people were saying it was another person. Some people were saying it was no player. And so I really did think Lamar Stevens was going to be a guy they brought in, maybe just waived. Let's cut that contract, do what we've got to do, and free up another spot. But he's come in and taken advantage of this opportunity he has, and you're seeing that from a lot of guys. Trey Jemison, who's on a two-way and has been playing really well, he's been taking advantage of opportunities, and we've been seeing that all season long. And, to be able to go into the All-Star break with a win like that last night on national television, that was huge.
Had to make a play at the end of the game. Yep. They were going for the tie, and you had just bodies sprawled out
Great
everywhere.
Defense from the Grizzlies.
And playing hard. Yeah. You had a couple guys going for that loose ball like they were jumping into a beanbag. Yeah. I mean, they were going hard for that, and now the All-Star break's here. I don't know how many more wins are out there for the Grizzlies. I don't know how many you want to win.
Yeah.
I really don't. The whole tanking thing and trying to position for the draft. But I know last night, in the last 2 nights, have been a lot of fun at FedEx Forum. Much more fun than the first half of the Texas two-step.
Yeah, not so much fun down in Texas last night. I'm glad the Grizzlies at least gave us something positive last night, because it was the complete opposite last night in Denton when the Tigers, just went down to North Texas and did not show up at all.
Ran into a buzzsaw, absolutely. We talked about that defense that North Texas played. I mentioned some places say it's a top 25 defense. The lowest I could find them was about 35 or so a good defense. And I said yesterday, Brett, you got to get out and early, and if you're struggling early against the North Texas team, it's going to be trouble. And it was a struggle all night long. Almost hypnotic at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then, they were so hot from three-point land. And even if you had a good start, there are those nights that, man, I just can't beat that.
Yeah.
I can't beat those kind of shots going in. Now North Texas without 2 starters.
Yep. 2 guys.
And I don't think North Texas is a very good team, but that's sadly kind of where I am today about the Tigers.
Yeah.
We can debate it, we can discuss it, we can go through the most rosiest scenarios remaining for the rest of the year, and there are some out there that exist, and I just out of hand reject it. But I've seen since November 6th, haven't I?
Yeah.
Haven't we?
Yeah.
And I'm just to the point now of, sadly, this is just not a very good team. We're approaching the point of this is who you are.
Yeah.
We may already be there. There were better moments this year than last night, and this rut the Tigers have been in, and I think in just a pathetic AAC. I'm not trying to make any case for that. This is mostly on the Tigers, and you have those years. You have those years where, kind of the best laid plans fall apart.
Yep.
And the player acquisition through the portal and the remodeling of the roster and the roster composition, I mean, I can't sit here and say, that it's garbage when I was at one time saying I think it's top 15 talent.
Yeah.
I had a couple people want to move me to 20, 1 or 2 to 25, but I was there on top 15, and sometimes it just doesn't work. On the whole firing thing, Penny Hardaway is not being fired.
No,
Penny Hardaway shouldn't be fired.
No.
He should not be fired.
No.
He is in his 6th year. Now, I do completely reject some saying, this is the first bad year. This is not the first bad year, but there have been better moments than it looks like this one's going to end up. But Sunday afternoon at Moody is really big, and the remainder of the year. And Brian, yesterday, the fun we have with Tiger Bankroll, and I said, I picked North Texas to win 60-58, to barely win and to barely cover. 1.5 was the spread last night.
Yeah.
And off there, as we were leaving last night, I told you, I said, boy, I really wish I'd picked the Tigers tonight. Why are we so scared of North Texas? And we talked about that a lot yesterday, too. Well, then that start was why we were so scared. In that atmosphere, and the Tigers have not responded well to that. And we can complain all we want about substitution patterns. At this point in the year, if you're still doing this, I don't think you're changing that.
No.
And obviously, out of some guys, he can't get exactly what he wants. And I know to a lot of fans, they're very upset. And I don't blame you. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I thought this was for sure a Sweet 16 year. After I saw the Tigers beat Clemson at FedEx Forum on the 16th of December, and then the addition of Naquan Tomlin, I was ready to this is a Final Four year, and it's not going to be.
No, and I've seen a lot of people talk about the substitution patterns, and like you said, I think at this point this is what you're going to get, and I think that's one of the smallest concerns for this team, because I am seeing so much in terms of game plan, in terms of execution that we've been talking about since December that have not been fixed, that have not been addressed. The 3-point shooting, I mean, all night last night, guys were getting open for North Texas, and it was the same thing we've been talking about time and time again. Overcommitting to one guy,
so
leaving guys open.
5 or 6 steps
Yes.
you'd have to close out on.
Yes.
Not a step and a half and get a hand up.
Yes, and I mean their closeouts are weak. They are overcommitting, leaving guys open in the corner, leaving guys top of the key open, and then towards late in the first half, second half, Penny Hardaway, you're now down. You can't. Your team's struggling defensively in the half court. So what does he do? What we see him do a lot of times, try to pick up this full court press. Well, now North Texas is easily beating the press, and now you've got Naquan and Jourdain down. And now it's 3-on-2, and Jourdain's sitting there. I can't guard the driver and the guy that's sitting down the corner, and he either fouls or he tries to guard the guy that's going to the basket, and they give up a corner three. It was
and
all
the
night
Tigers
long.
have had an issue all year of an inability to play defense without fouling. It's not some deep, nefarious plot of calling fouls on the Tigers. And I know some want to do that. I'm not. I don't think it exists. But really for that 2 hours, 15 minutes last night, the best team won and won easily.
Yeah, no, you're right about that. And, it's just the same things over and over again. And then I think, they just couldn't get anything going. We talk about how good, defensively that team is, and they're a better defensive team than a lot of teams you'll see, and you saw that early. I saw an early shot clock violation early in the first half. 6 turnovers, Brett, 6 turnovers at the 14:45 mark in the first half. I mean, that's unacceptable, and that is a team that wasn't prepared against a good defense. Couldn't get into a rhythm early, and then on top of that, I know we're going to talk to Jason Munns later, but some of the quotes that came out from that game, from not just Penny Hardaway, but from the opposing team, their star player that went off for 30 last night said, when asked about, were you surprised at the threes that y'all were getting? His response was, our coach told us before the game, do not be surprised how open you're going to get for three-point attempts tonight. He said it played out like that.
Well, he was right.
He was exactly right.
And we've had these damning quotes from opposing players and coaches after games. The Temple coach, said, don't fear. We can come back on these guys. South Florida really showed a way. So, it's all out there. A lot of the season has been played. It is not over. I do think, the unlikely could happen. Yeah. But again, I don't think it's very likely when you've seen this much ball. And that last night now moves North Texas past Memphis. And, even a scenario Sunday that if Memphis lost to SMU and East Carolina won at home against Tulane, I think, the Tigers could be T8.
Wow. Yeah, and we'll talk about it a little bit later when we talk Tigers again, but I do have the one of the beat writers for Charlotte posted if the AAC tournament happened today, what would the matchups be? So I have
we played it out here at the home show?
That's right. If we played it out at the home show, what would they be? So we'll talk about that later because I don't think anybody would expect where the Tigers are right now. And facing off in their first game against a team they lost to earlier this year.
If you'd like to, we want you to weigh in. 901-360-8255. As always, we want you to weigh in. I don't know how constructive today would be for just an assault on everything and just kind of run through with a chainsaw and just rip away on everything. I think it's painfully aware to everyone. That may not make for great radio on a Friday afternoon.
But I think you're right.
I'm sorry if it doesn't. But the shortcomings, the frailties, the deficiencies of this team, I think now are painfully aware to all.
No, I think you're right. But let me set up today's show before we get to top and not top story of the day. Alan Bell from the AB3 and Driving the Line will join us to talk wagering in our next segment. A lot to get to with him, some college basketball, NBA All-Star Weekend, and also NBA when we return. We'll talk some NFL news with him as well, and college baseball, I know one of his favorite sports to both watch and game on. So we'll talk a lot about that opening day today in college baseball.
That's a nice word for bet.
Yeah, well, trying to make it as great as I can make it. But we'll talk a lot of stuff with Alan Bell in our next segment. 3:45, we'll get back into the Tigers' loss against North Texas, talk about what's going on with this team and the game on Sunday against SMU. 4 o'clock, Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insider, CBS Sports, and BAMSports.net. He'll join us. We'll talk some more wagering with him at 4 o'clock. 4:30, Ty Richardson from ESPN Arkansas will join us to talk the SEC and the Razorbacks. A lot to get to with him. Obviously, Arkansas basketball, but also Arkansas baseball in action right now against James Madison. 4:45, we'll get to big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Jason Munns, the Tiger basketball beat writer for the Commercial Appeal. He will join us to talk all things Tiger basketball, and as always, he's presented by Jim's Place in Collierville. 5:30, we'll get to what's trending. 5:45, we're up to today's show like we always do with Taco Bell Crunch Time. Let me remind you, even though we're not back home at our studios, we're always in our family leisure studios where family and fun come together. I mentioned it earlier. The Mid-South, the home show of the Mid-South is presented by Family Leisure all weekend. Let me give you those hours again. Friday, they'll be here, which is today. They'll be here till 7 p.m. Saturday, 10 to 7. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And those prices, great prices all weekend. $10 for adults, $5 for seniors. That's 65 and up. Military, $5 with an active ID. And 16 and under, you get in for free. But make sure you head out to Family Leisure for their floor model set.
I've already got a price on the one-day remodeling of my bathroom.
Oh, I mean,
out with the old, in with the new.
Perfect. Just the time, with spring right around the corner, a perfect time to get out here and get things ready.
I want the tub out.
Yeah, get it out of there. But let me remind you as well about the floor model sale going on at Family Leisure. All floor model patio sets, they're priced to move. Wicker sofa set under $2,000. Closeout patio cushions as low as $25. Pool tables under $1,500. Theater seating under $2,000. And four-person hot tubs, they're under $5,000. Infrared and traditional steam sauna is now 25% off. Get ready for summer and purchase your above-ground pool to get first in line for installation. And that special financing, it's still available, but only at Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
Like I need a tub to take a big old bubbly bath.
Come
on, Johnny. I don't need that. Johnny Hill is our producer. We are Sports Time, and we're here at the home show until 6 o'clock. Bryant and Brett with you, and you can join us at 901-360-8255. We'd love for you to. We really would. We'd like to see your response to everything going on, and we know the primary story. This hour of our show brought to you by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway, and they're online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2024 models and always special leasing options. The one and only Lexus dealership in town. You can reach them at 901-334-9673. Drive in luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by today at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2024 flagship LS500, and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design, and they make for the luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day, I'm sure it's the top story all across the city, but It's the Tigers dropping another one last night. After that 3-game win streak, they hit the road and fall to North Texas 76-66. And early, it was just not a competitive game. The Tigers were getting blown out, and it was really due to North Texas' defense coupled with their three-point shooting. It seemed like everything they threw up, they were knocking down, shooting a super high percentage to start the game, and the Tigers really had no answer on the other end. Now, the Tigers did settle down a little bit. They ended up getting the lead late in the first half for a quick second before going down again. David Jones had a bank shot three to end the half.
Triple pumper.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very, very strange shot.
I thought he got fouled.
Yeah, I did too, but the shot went in, and Tigers trailed by 3 at half, but really the second half was all North Texas.
You should have seen the high technology of me watching the game on Mr. Technology, Greg Ash's phone.
At least you had,
us two combined.
Well, at least you had Greg there, because I know by yourself it would have been a struggle to get the
I think I could pass a technology test with Greg.
Oh, I didn't. I was not aware of that. Well, I mean, two's better than one always. But North Texas, I mean, they shot the ball really, really well. 57.1% from three, 44% from the field, and it was Jason Edwards' night. 30.7 for 9 from 3. Just an incredible showing from him.
Guy looked like Luka Doncic, didn't he?
I mean, it was really incredible. And then for the Tigers, I mean, just couldn't get anything going. Only 2 players finished in double figures. David Jones led the team with only 14 points, 2 for 13 from the field for David Jones in the game. That's not first half. That's not for the game. 2 for 13. Certainly the worst.
But he plays hard.
Offensive. He plays hard and made up for it defensively. 16 rebounds. Did only turn the ball over twice. Had 2 steals. So played well. But in terms of offensive output and scoring that we've gotten accustomed to, just wasn't enough. Just didn't have it. And really just a poor performance from this Tiger team. Now you got to regroup fast, because Sunday afternoon you're heading down to Dallas for an SMU team that really thought that they should have beat you.
It will be their Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, they thought they beat you in Memphis, so they certainly won revenge this week.
Former president in the front row.
I'd bet money they probably will.
Yeah, they sure could. My time?
Your time.
Okay, thank you. My top story, Penny Hardaway has had his big wins over the years. Look at these named coaches he's defeated. Kelvin Sampson, Rick Barnes, Eric Musselman, Tony Bennett. But he's also had those losses. Listen to this list of absolute nobodies he's lost to this calendar year. In the last month, basically. Paul Mills. I'm not making up any of these names. Well, this next one I'm kind of having a little fun with. Paul Mills, Ron Tom Izzo Hunter, Amir Abdul-Rahim, Scott Parra. No, not Robert Barra, Scott Parra. Ross or Russ Hodge?
Ross Hodge.
Ross Hodge. Someone named Ross Hodge. Pathetic. And we heard during the kind of the open date week, going to be back to the basics. Camp Penny.
Yep.
Came out of that, lost twice, didn't they?
Yeah.
This week we've heard, road trip, Texas two-step, really be around each other, the bonding moment.
Yep.
Well, one down, one to go. He will be back next year. He should be back next year.
Yep.
He won't be fired. He shouldn't be fired. I'll even go so far to say, as I've said before, he should get every year that Josh Pastner got.
Yep.
Well, that was 7. I'll even go so far to say he should get the Pastner-Smith pass.
Okay.
That's 9 years.
Yeah.
And in that time, if it improves, people will gravitate to it and be big fans. And if they don't, then it'll be back down to crowds like it was at the end of the Tubby Smith era, and that will speak as loud as anything.
Yeah.
Not top story of the day.
Well, my not top story of the day is what the Grizzlies did last night.
And there's a reason for this.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Penny Hardaway is bigger than this program.
Absolutely.
He is.
Absolutely. No, you're right about
that. When people
that.
talk about him being different and he's a different, this is a different kind of guy, he is bigger than his program.
No, yeah, I agree with you on that. Well, my not top story is what the Grizzlies did last night. A 113-110 win over the Milwaukee Bucks. You mentioned it earlier. I mean, for most of the day yesterday, a lot of people thought Giannis Antetokounmpo would miss last night's game. Some people even thought that Damian Lillard would also be out, but they both played. It was the regular group for the Bucks, and for this Grizzlies group, they came out and played extremely well. What a fun night at FedEx Forum. For the Bucks, they shot 25% from 3, 46% from the field. Giannis had a really good game, 35 points, 12 assists, and 4 rebounds for him. But for the Grizzlies, I mean, what a night. For Zaire Williams, a career-high 27 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists. Gigi Jackson, 27 points off the bench. Vince Williams played well with 18 points. Lamar Stevens, 13 and 5 off the bench. Just a great game from these young guys that you want to see develop. You want to see improve. You want to see who can stick with this team. And for Vince Williams Jr., you played, Wednesday night against the Rockets? Last night against the Bucks? He caught a flight last night. Gets up this morning for media, and then tonight will be a part of the Rising Stars game, so that'll be a lot of fun to watch later tonight. I just hope for Vince Williams' sake that once that game's over tonight, he goes and finds a beach or finds somewhere and puts his feet up, because, I mean, he has been going this week.
Boy, there's some American Express cards being used in Cabo right now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't blame them.
No.
They've earned the money. They've earned the time away. My not top story is also Memphis Tigers now in 7th place in the AAC, from 10th in the AP. And now we see how much that really matters, don't we?
Yeah.
To 7th in a very bad AAC. Lose on Sunday at Moody and ECU with a win at home over Ron Tom Izzo Hunter. And Monday morning, we'll look at the standings, and the Tigers will be T8.
Yeah.
Road trip still remains to Fog Allen Minges Arena at East Carolina. Got to keep that in mind. And that's a game against a coach named Michael Schwartz.
There you go.
Got anything on Mike Schwartz? I think he's the basketball media relations guy at Ole Miss. What a busy winter for him to run basketball media relations and coach at East Carolina.
A lot of back and forth.
Mike Schwartz.
Ooh, yeah, I hope the Tigers don't have the same issues they've had in the past on the road at ECU. But this year, I wouldn't put anything past them. Well, that'll do it for top and not top story of the day. Let's go ahead and get to our first break of the day. When we come back, we're talking wagering with Alan Bell.
You already know you can listen to Sports 56 anywhere with the Sports 56 app or at sports56whbq.com. But you can also watch us daily with live video of all of our shows on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.
Are you ready to start a rewarding career that's bigger than you? Join us on Saturday, February 17th, 2024 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for our hiring expo at the Memphis Police Academy, 4731 Academy Drive. Salary starts at $54,611, increasing to $72,000 after 3 years. If you want to serve the Memphis community, join the Best in Blue. For more information or details, visit joinmpd.com.
This is hard to believe, but the Hyundai Santa Fe is actually better? I know, that's crazy, isn't it? The 2024 Santa Fe is new, top to bottom, and even better than before. It's almost as big as the Palisade, so roomy, and now it's got a standard third row. Everybody's clamoring for that. And it's the best SUV when it comes to the ride than ever before. You know how with SUVs you love it because you're sitting high, but you don't get that luxury kind of ride like a sedan? You do with the 2024 Santa Fe. It's the best riding SUV ever, and it's quiet. It's the ultimate family car. All you've got to do to be sold is to test drive it. The people at Homer Skelton Hyundai are saying, come try it. You'll love it. Homer Skelton Hyundai, right at the corner of Highway 78 and Craft Road. First exit in Mississippi. Go see the ultimate SUV, the 2024 Santa Fe.
Shop, compare, and save from hundreds of experts to turn your dream home into a reality. We have everything to help you remodel, refresh, and beautify your home inside and out. So come on out to the Home Show of the Mid-South, February 16th through the 18th at the Agri Center. You'll find special show pricing on kitchens, baths, patios and landscaping, flooring, cabinets, windows, roofing. It's all at the Home Show of the Mid-South, February 16th through the 18th at the Agri Center. For more info, visit memphishomeshow.com. That's memphishomeshow.com.
Chris Price, it's so good to see you. And you have a new business?
Yes, Dave. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Have you noticed water stains on your ceiling? With storm season here, take a walk around your home or business and look up. Make sure there are no water stains signaling a leak prior to the heavy storms coming in. If you do see signs of water, call me. My team and I will come out, diagnose the problem, and prescribe a fix. Our team of Hague-certified inspectors are waiting to assist with any inspection or repairs you may need. We have 3 crews dedicated to repairing roofs in the Mid-South. As certified Owens Corning and Mule High dealers, we offer 20-year, no-dollar limit labor and material warranties that offer hassle-free ownership. That's our hassle-free ownership guarantee. Allow Metro Builders team of professionals to assist you in maintaining your property's integrity and value. MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Your local commercial roof experts. Ask about our commercial roof maintenance agreements. Protect your investment with MetroBuildersMemphis.com. Call me, 901-375-1717. That's 901-375-1717. 375-1717.
Yo, Mark, long time no see. You still down at Dyer's?
Man, I'm not down at Dyer's. I'm out at Collierville Historic Town Square.
When'd you move out there?
We've been out there for about 13 years. We've got the shops, the park, we got the train the kids like to play on.
You still cooking those burgers the old-fashioned way?
Man, we're still flattening out those hamburger balls on a slab of marble and skillet frying them the old-fashioned way like they've been doing for 100 years.
Dude, you still have those onion rings.
Man, they're fantastic. Hand-breaded, served up just right.
I loved those milkshakes. Please tell me you're still doing those.
Man, we are hand-dipping those shakes, putting them in the old glass in the shake tin, served the old-fashioned way.
You got any new items out there I need to know about?
We're just doing a lot of gourmet sandwiches. We've got farm-raised catfish straight out of the Delta. We've got some hot tamales from Pasquale's Tamales out of Helena, Arkansas.
Man, are they served in the husk?
What those guys like to say, they're so good, you'll suck the shuck.
Go see my buddy Mark at Dyer's Cafe in Collierville's historic town square.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. Wrapping up this earlier wreck over here on 240 East, right at 55. It did add to that slowdown as you come down from Midtown on 240 southbound. Sometimes it's slow there down by Norris as you work your way south there on 240 because of that crash. As it builds even more on 240 East from Mill Branch all the way out to 385. Lots of radar out here this Friday afternoon. Please give yourself extra time. Weimer's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64 is your full-service, family-owned jewelry store right here in the Memphis area. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios on the road. We're here live at the Agri Center for the home show of the Mid-South. Make sure you get out here this weekend. We're going to be here till 6 o'clock, and make sure you stop by. We're registering to win prizes for the next 3 hours. We've got tickets to Memphis and Charlotte for next week, their home game next week, and then also Cal Ripken. He'll be at Northwest Mississippi Community College next Thursday. We'll be giving tickets for that. So if you want to go see Cal Ripken, one of the greats, you want to go see the Tigers next week at home, make sure you stop by and register, and we'll be drawing those winners later this afternoon. We're having some trouble getting with Alan, so we will try to connect with him shortly. But before we do that, Brett, you want to talk a little bit more about the Tigers?
Yeah, last night we want your input on it. We know what happened last night. We also know what could happen on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
The year is not over, but we have seen enough to right now to know that this is probably not going to end up being a very good year.
Yeah.
And we know the NC tournament record. We everybody knows all that.
Sure.
I refreshed it today. Through 188 games, Coach Hardaway is 129-59. Through 188 games, Josh was 140-48.
Yeah.
In that time, Josh had won twice in the NCAA tournament over St. Mary's and George Washington. Not great NCAA tournament wins, and Coach Hardaway's got the one NCAA tournament win over Boise State. Here is the only thing I'm worried about on the patient side. He's not going anywhere. Whether you're patient or not patient, he's not going anywhere. Because he is bigger than this program.
Mm-hmm.
And this was one of the reservations that some had at his ascendancy, at his hiring from high school coach to head coach of his alma mater. If it ended badly, how would it be? Because comparatively to Larry Finch as a coach, Larry Finch was a really, really good coach.
Yeah.
And had won a lot more in the first 6 years and in the last 6 years than Coach Hardaway had. And we saw how that ended. Now, it had a lot of other factors in it at the time. Notably, Coach Larry Finch's health was the real issue. And nothing to indicate that it is with Coach Hardaway. We sure hope it's not. But into the next few years on the patient front, now I'm almost to the point. I've heard a lot of people, need and I think I've even thought this and expressed this. Larry needs to have the good sit down, kind of you tell me, back office, private, state of the program conversation with him. What are his goals?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? And I would hope his goal would not be, I want to win it all.
Yeah.
No, that's one thing that I think probably needs to be done a little better by everybody is kind of managing expectations. That doesn't mean settle for less, and that leads me into my point, and I don't want this to be settling for less. So 1 year from now, if he stays and he will for a seventh year, I say just get to an NC tournament. Quit talking the second weekend stuff. But is that lowering the bar? I don't think so, because this program has the two Josh NC tournament wins and the one Hardaway NC tournament wins. That's the only NC tournament wins since 2009, John Calipari's last year, and a Sweet 16 run. Now, that was 2 wins before being eliminated from the tournament by Mike Anderson and Missouri. That was Tyreek's year.
Yeah.
That was the last Sweet 16. It's 15 years since the second weekend.
Yeah.
So really, Brian, why should a second weekend be expected?
No, I don't think it should, and I think we've seen enough of this program to not expect that right now, and maybe that changes. But Brett, let's be honest. I mean, there are programs that put up banners for Sweet 16 appearances, not just Sweet 16 wins, but Sweet 16 appearances. And so, this team, I think, getting to the tournament, winning the first game, getting to that second game is what those expectations should be, because like you said, since, the Cal years, this program hasn't done anything to prove that the expectation should be second weekend. And that's not talking negative. That's not, dissing the program.
It's just where we are.
It's just the facts.
I don't mean it to rub anybody's nose in it. I don't mean it to be ugly. It is factual.
Yeah.
If you can find information that can disprove me, I'm welcome to it. But I've kept up with the NCAA tournament. I know what they've done, and I know what they haven't done. I did see this, and you can see almost anything you want to see or not want to see out there in Twitter. But I did see this. Well, how come the criticism's not on Eric Musselman like it is on Penny? Do I have to remind you what Eric Musselman's already accomplished in less time at Arkansas than Penny Hardaway? I even saw this. Why aren't people more on Izzo? Well, I don't know that the Izzo statue should be as big as it is at East Lansing, but he did win a national championship. I mean, can you not the equivalency crowd? I just can't go there. Well, this team having not so good year. Yeah. What's that get you? And then when you dig into it and you compare it, I know he beat him this year. I see no equivalency between Eric Musselman's last 3 years at Arkansas prior to this year, and now for Coach Hardaway. Musselman went to 2 Elite Eights and a Sweet 16. In the next 3 years, if Penny just does that one of the three and maybe one more tournament bid and maybe a lacking year, I think a lot of people would be really satisfied.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. And I mentioned earlier to you that I saw, let me get the Hunter Bailey, who covers Charlotte basketball out in North Carolina.
Wasn't he the hero in It's a Wonderful Life? Wasn't it Hunter Bailey?
I think you're right. Yes, it was. But different Hunter Bailey.
I got you.
But he posted today, if the American Athletic Conference tournament started today, this is what the bracket would look like. And as we know, that first day, 2 games. That second day, you've got 4 games. And then the quarterfinals, the top 4 seeds get that bye till the third day, till the quarterfinals. Right now, Tigers would be starting as the 7th seed, like you mentioned, on March 14th, playing Rice. Now, if they beat Rice,
I welcome the rematch, don't we?
I mean, I absolutely do.
I welcome it too.
But I mean,
man, the idea of going the whole summer into next year of losing to Rice twice.
Oh man,
that's
so
bad.
If you beat Rice, you play Charlotte in the quarterfinals. We haven't seen Charlotte yet.
Brett Maxwell's not walking through that door.
No, he is not. But they're the 2 seed right now. And obviously, this will all probably change before the weekend's even over. But as of today, you play Charlotte in the quarterfinals. You win that game, you would likely play the winner of FAU and North Texas, which I would say is probably likely Florida Atlantic.
Unless North Texas goes out there and puts them in the old Kreskin spell.
Yep. That would be the semifinal game, and then the championship, who knows right now, USF, SMU's on the other side of the bracket, so probably one of those. That's the 1 and 4 on the other side of the bracket. But, I mean, that's 4 games to try to win the tournament. I mean, that is really, really tough. I don't care who you are as a team. I don't care who you are playing. That is tough to play 4 games in a row.
Yeah, and who really thinks the Tigers can put that 4-gamer in front of them when we've seen heck this last 4 games. Last 4 games had some wins in it, I know, but look who it was against. I mean, it was down to the last second against Wichita State. Held on for dear life against Temple and looked pretty good against Tulane and then last night. So. Even you go to what is the best 4-game stretch? I'm trying to find one.
Back.
But, maybe
just in conference play,
anywhere, because Villanova kind of messes up the early part of the.
Well, I would say it's that VCU, A&M, Clemson, Virginia, and then outside of that,
and VCU,
Yeah, I agree with
that was overtime, and they missed a layup at the horn.
Well, Brett, I remember
that's part of it.
Me and Johnny watched, I think, most of that first half together. And early in the first half, it was, oh no, and because that would have been the third straight loss, because that was after Villanova and Ole Miss. We were going, no, this team cannot go on a 3-game losing streak, and now look where we're at. I mean, it's a completely different world than we were then. So it's just a really, really big mess right now. But let's go ahead and get to a break.
I'm sorry we didn't visit with Alan because I wanted to talk about his Super Bowl picks. I want to give our audience an update for where he finished last week with us. He was 6-2. Is that right? Yeah.
6-2. I mean,
6-2, 58-30 for the year in the NFL. That's 659. Wow. With his college work, 42-36, 594 for the year on Friday. 166 picks, 100 correct picks.
Cow.
That's 602.
That's
100 out of 166.
That's unbelievable. Great picking from Alan, and like you said, hate that we missed him today, but we will get back with him next Friday. But I mentioned we're at the home show of the Mid-South out here at the Agri Center. Make sure you come out here over the weekend. Make sure you stop by today. Say hello to us. We've got prizes that we'll be giving out, so make sure you stop by and register. But let's get to a break. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about the home show. Jan Hamilton will join us to talk about everything they've got going on out here at the Agri Center. We'll do that next on Sports Time.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Snell Automotive in Memphis would like to say thank you to all the local men and women serving in our armed forces who risk their lives daily to preserve our freedom and way of life. God bless America. That's brought to you by Snell Automotive, family owned and operated since 1978 at 2848 Appling Way in Memphis, known for quality, integrity, and courteous service. Call 901-388-7390, 901-388-7390.
Napa Cafe celebrates 26 years in 2024. Hi, I'm Glenda Hastings, owner of Napa Cafe, and I want to thank you for making us part of your dining experiences. Treat yourself tonight with a delightful dinner. Maybe start with an appetizer like our baked sweet peculiar peppers stuffed with goat cheese and mozzarella, finished with basil pistou, and move on to one of our cozy dishes like the double chocolate stout braised boneless beef short ribs with tonkatsu sauce and creamy mashed potatoes, or a fresh seafood dish like our pan-roasted ginger buttered sea bass with cilantro soy vinaigrette. I get hungry just talking about it. Don't forget about dessert, our famous sweet buttermilk pie with brown sugar sauce, or drink your dessert with one of our signature dessert cocktails, like the lemon cheesecake martini, lemony, icy, frothy, and dusted with graham cracker crumbs. Napa Cafe, open Wednesday through Saturday for dinner starting at 5 o'clock. For reservations, visit our website at napacafe.com. Come join us as we celebrate 26 years of Napa Cafe. We can't wait to serve you.
Memphis basketball is working towards March with 2 big home games coming up. It's a blackout with the first 3,000 fans receiving a free black t-shirt for the game against Charlotte on Wednesday, February 21st at 7 o'clock. And then a big-time matchup for revenge against Florida Atlantic on Sunday, February 25th at 1 o'clock for the Stripe Out. Limited tickets remain for the Florida Atlantic game. Purchase your tickets at gotigersgo.com/tickets.
All 650 acquisition fee, Forte RE 722-812, MSRP 21590, Sorrento PG 2422710, MSRP 33010, Telluride RG 462822, MSRP 38705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/29/24 with approved credit. Dealer stock only. Hey, Jeff Allen, you ready to get this party started at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah?
You bet I am, Randy. Gossett's got your new Kia that gets 41 MPG highway. 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Need extra room? How about a 2023 Kia Sorrento LX at $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And a 2024 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, $459 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease.
Plus, get peace of mind because with every Gossett Kia, you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
2680 Mount Moriah or online, KiaMountMoriah.com.
Do you want a greener, more weed-free lawn? If you're like me, you can't stand the sight of dandelions, clover, or especially crabgrass. Hi, I'm Brandon Hawley, president of Lawn Solutions. We are your locally owned and operated weed control and fertilization company. We are also experts in disease and insect control on your lawn and landscape. Our uniformed technicians are full-time, year-round licensed and certified by the state of Tennessee. Lawn Solutions' personalized service is far more superior to that of national companies that promise but simply cannot deliver. We return phone calls, we keep appointments, and we want your business. What we will not do is bother you with endless phone calls or junk mail. Lawn Solutions will not sell you something your lawn doesn't need. If you're looking for a local lawn care company to kill your weeds and feed your grass, then Lawn Solutions is the finest. Call us at 867-5626. That's 867-5626. Or go online at lawnsolutionsinc.net. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for your business.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you, and we're live out here at the Agri Center for the home show of the Mid-South. And joining us now to talk a little bit about what they're doing this weekend here at the Agri Center, Jan Hamilton joins us now. Jan, we were here just a couple weeks ago for the boat show, now back out here for the home show. What can people expect to see this weekend out here?
Oh, my goodness, guys. Everything from the limousine of chicken coops, gutters. I have a 40,000-gallon pool set up in Wing D. Family Leisure, of course, is one of our big vendors. Anything you need. Are you remodeling a bath, a kitchen? Do you need furniture? Anything
Countertops.
you need. Countertops. We have got flooring. We have
ceiling fans. You got everything. Everywhere you look, Jen.
Guys, we've got doors that I have drooled over for years. Macklin Security Doors. They're iron crafters, of course. We have got some of the most beautiful things. We've got patios set up. We've got gazebos set up.
Wow.
We have garage floors. We have a poured garage floor for people to see. That is so awesome. Just anything you need for your home, come on out and see us. We're going to be here through Sunday. And of
bedding,
course,
recliners.
Massage chairs, guys. You know that.
I just went over and jumped on the bed.
We have the beds that we all need for our backs. We have several different brands. Guys, you know Memphis weather. Heaven help us. We have Generac. We have whole home generators.
Yes.
Everybody needs those. We bought one about 10 years ago. That's the best home improvement we have ever
Best investment people can make. And earlier when I got here and was going booth to booth, I would say everybody's having good response, but Generac was having the biggest because people have had enough of it.
Well, and cooking. Guys, we all eat.
Yeah, that's right.
We have got some of the best cookware here, and I don't say that lightly because we have it. You know, we all need to eat healthier and cook better. And when you taste this food, we're doing live cooking shows.
Oh, wow.
We have seminars. Now, guys, some of us won't, well, not me, but my boss is building a house, bless his heart. And maybe you want to talk to a builder and say, hey, I'm thinking about doing this. How do I start? We've got guys here to tell you that. We have seminars on everything from how to build your house. We've got seminars on how to renew your furnitures. I've got a leather guy that's going to be giving a big seminar on that.
Wow.
You name it, we've got it here at the home show.
Wow, that's great. When you mentioned Family Leisure, I saw that Family Leisure, they're giving away a spa this weekend to one lucky person who comes out here.
Yes, they do this every year. And, I mean, it is just such a blessing to the community. I mean, come on out and see us. Visit all our vendors. We've got some great food here. You know, you can have a Pronto Pup.
I saw some people walking around with Pronto Pup. I'm getting hungry.
I've already had one and my Coca-Cola. That was lunch. I have to wait to the golf tournament to get a Pronto Pup.
And for the kids, you know, kids love candy. We've got Mr. Freeze candy. Oh, my gosh, it's that new freeze-dried
yeah, it's
stuff
huge right now.
does.
Yeah.
We've got something for everybody, guys. So come on out and see us.
Absolutely. Well, what hours and pricing? What's that look like for this weekend?
Okay, adults is anyone 17 or over is $10. Anybody younger is free.
Wow.
Seniors, military, $5.
Wow.
We open on Saturday and Sunday at 10, close at 7 on Saturday and tonight. And Sunday is from 10 to 6.
Perfect. Wow. Well, it is great out here. I mean, just looking around, like Brett said, I was able to get around and look at some of the vendors that are out here. And, I mean, like you said, a little bit of everything. So, Jan, thank you so much for joining us. It's always so fun. And thanks for having us out here.
We love having y'all.
Thank
you for the support.
Thanks, Jan. Jan Hamilton, she's out here at the home show of the Mid-South, out here at the Agri Center. Make sure you stop by. I mean, like she said, a little bit of something for everybody, whether it's indoor, outdoor.
That Generac display.
Yeah.
I mean, with all the weather stuff that we've had the last few years, ice storms, thunderstorms, windstorms, all that. That's almost as essential as having your kitchen.
Yeah, well, and I've heard my parents talking about it. I've heard other people, friends and families that we know. It seems like everybody after these last couple of years, they're ready to get a generator, and this is a perfect time to come get one.
And of course, there are different price points. And I asked the rep, and he said, basically, we got a Mercedes-Benz,
right?
And look, I proudly drive a Ford. We got them all for everybody. Ford, a Chevrolet, a Lincoln Continental, Mercedes-Benz. They've got them, and I mean, when you have it, that peace of mind of knowing I'm not sitting in the cold.
Yeah.
If you got maybe somebody older, an older parent that you're tending for that. May have some, special needs, or a baby.
Yeah.
You can't leave in a cold, frozen house, and we can sweat it out playing fireplace for a night or two, but most people can't.
Yeah, no. So I mean, it's something that you definitely need, and so now's a perfect time with the weather turning and spring rolling out. It's a great time to kind of figure out what kind of model you want and get out here and get one and get it installed and get it ready to go before we get to those hot summer months, those fall and winter when the weather can get real bad. But also I'm seeing there's this beautiful patio displayed right to our right that I've been looking at all afternoon. So some really good stuff out here.
I'd never go inside if I had that.
No, I wouldn't either. So I mean, make sure you get out here this weekend. Like she said, they're open today till 7 p.m., tomorrow 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Sunday 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Great prices for everybody. So come out here, bring your kids, 16 and under, get in for free. So get out here and really good time. Make sure you come out here this afternoon. We're giving away prizes, so make sure you come by, stop by, say hello, register to win, and we're going to be drawing for some really good prizes.
How's your afternoon baseball looking?
It's looking good. I need to check on some scores, but
Razorbacks doing you right?
Razorbacks. Last time I checked, Razorbacks were up by 3.
You can take issue with Ty Richardson if they don't come through for you?
Depending on what the score is at about 4:25 or so, I might have to see where Ty's at, see if he can go out there and hey.
You saw what I saw. Did you see some of those crowd shots?
Oh man,
they look like they're at the North Pole.
Oh man, and it sounds like we're going to be getting that weather. I think I saw tomorrow the high's 41, so it's about to get cold.
I tell it all the time. David Kellum, who is avid turkey hunter. Deer hunter, has done all Ole Miss football forever. He says not even close. Coldest he's ever been in his life, like the 28th of March one year down at Auburn.
Well, that's where it'll get you, though. That March,
and dress for
March. Oh,
and he said he'd never been colder.
Wow.
He said football doesn't touch baseball for cold weather.
Crazy. Well, I'm telling you, I'm excited tonight. 10:30 first pitch in Hawaii for Hawaii and Ole Miss. We're gonna get some action.
Eli Savoy on the call.
Eli Savoy, you can listen to that right here on Sports. Maybe you can't sleep late tonight, and you're up at that hour. I know a lot of people will not be, but I'm excited for that one. I'm gonna have some action on that as well. But we need to go ahead and wrap up our first hour and get to a break. And when we come back, we'll talk some wagering with Bruce Marshall.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every $1 you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
The President's Day sales event is on strong at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. How about 0% for 72 months on all 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorns? Yeah, 0 for 72 on 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorns. How about $8,000 off 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee Limiteds? We Gossett at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the Pike. And how about your new 2023 Dodge Charger $27,990? There's no reason to shop anywhere else. Get to Gossett on the Pike today. New 2023 Charger $27,990, 2024 Grand Cherokee Limited $8,000 off and 0 for 72 on all 2024 Bighorns. So drive past the rest and come to the best Gossett on the Pike, or shop online GossettMotorCars.net.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Charger PH 508-657, MSRP 35,930, Cherokee PC 662620, MSRP 55,760, includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695 excludes tax on license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
It's a new year, and Family Leisure has a new way to bring family and fun together. All you have to do is walk into Family Leisure and look around. All those floor model patio sets you see, those have got to go. So Family Leisure can make room for all the new sets coming. Get a wicker sofa set for under $2,000. Pool tables under $1,500. Theater seating for under $2,000. Hot tubs for $4,000, or just for yourself. If you really want to lounge, they're under $5,000. Need patio cushions? Get them as low as $25. Oh, have you seen those infrared steam saunas? Well, now they and the traditional saunas are 25% off. It may just be the first few weeks of 2024, but that doesn't mean you can't start getting ready for summer. 2 final things. Purchase your above-ground pool now and get first in line for installation, and take advantage of special financing that's available. Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, bringing the family and the fun back together.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Building. They keep you moving.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. They were dodging a stalled vehicle in a terrible spot a few minutes ago on 40 westbound just past Sycamore View Road. It is heavy out here already on 240 eastbound now from Mill Branch all the way out to 385 Billmores Parkway. We've had a couple of wrecks out here in the last few minutes, so give yourself a little bit of extra travel time. It is Friday afternoon after all, so expect the unexpected. Hey, Weiber's Jewelry, 7525 Highway 64 is your full-service, family-owned jewelry store right here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Joining the guys every Friday is college football historian and Vegas legend Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insiders, CBS Sports, and his own website, bamsports.net. With over 30 years on Memphis radio, with handicapping and sports talk, here's Bruce Marshall with Bryant and Brett.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you. We're live out here at the Agri Center for the home show of the Mid-South. Make sure you stop by. They'll be out here all weekend. We'll be here till 6 o'clock giving away great prizes, so make sure you stop by and register. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but I just saw this on ESPN. Tiger Woods had withdrawals from the Genesis Invitational, so midway through his round in day 2, round 2, so not great for Tiger. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Who knew in less than an hour we'd have 2 Cornbread Maxwell references?
Well, yes.
Father Time remains undefeated.
That is right. But joining us now from Vegas Insider, CBS Sports, and BAMSports.net, Bruce Marshall joins us now. Bruce, thanks so much for joining us. What did you make of that Super Bowl on Sunday? It looked like the 49ers were kind of in control, and then never bet against the Chiefs. Here they come and end up coming back. Overtime was fun, and they end up hoisting the Lombardi Trophy again. What did you make of what happened on Sunday?
Boy, that sure felt a lot like that game 4 years ago, even though
Sure did.
it sequenced a bit different because this one got overtime and that one didn't. But it was for a 49er fan, just a real gut punch. But you sort of got the feeling as the game went on that the Niners should have probably had a little bigger lead than they did, and they sort of let the Chiefs hang around there. And then late, it gave Mahomes a chance. The Niners did a very good job, I thought, for most of the day, keeping Mahomes and that offense in check. But a few key things at the end went against San Francisco. I really think it turned. I mean, there's several points there. The fumbled punt. Well, not really a fumble. I mean, it was a bad punt.
Yeah.
This is sort of the Chiefs' day when they haven't hit a punt so bad, but the up man doesn't expect the ball to be coming in so short, and it hits off his foot. And the Niners lose possession there. That really was a bad break. But I thought really a key play was the first KC possession of the second half when Mahomes threw that pick, and the Niners are set up in KC territory, up 10-3. They probably should have been ahead by more than that. But if they can go in there, any sort of a score, get it out beyond a touchdown lead, I think they'd be in pretty good shape. But they didn't, and that was Kansas City's defense again stepping up. And the Niners hurt themselves with some penalties, and of course that first drive of the game, the turnover there and by McCaffrey, and then the second drive they were in position, and the penalties pushed them back. So it just, all the big points of that game seemed to go against San Francisco, and that's how it ended up. I will say this, though. In retrospect, looking at it, and the Chiefs and trying to gauge where they fit, and I always do this because I'm kind of old now and I remember. And as good as Mahomes is, this is not a very exciting team, and that is no knock on Kansas City. I think I respect them more for finding a different way to win this year. But this is not that exciting of a team. They are not nearly as exciting as the Steelers in the 70s or Dallas in the 70s, where they had a lot of big plays left and right. I mean, most of the passes are 8 to 10 yards and short, and then Mahomes sort of makes something happen, but everything's taking place within a few yards of the line of scrimmage. It's not all that exciting. It's effective, and they win. That's all that counts. But it's not all that exciting.
Mahomes is almost winning, being the crafty right-hander, isn't he? I mean, it's not downhill like it even was with Tyreek Hill, but it is very effective, and that's the name of the game. Bruce, I thought a big play was the San Francisco defensive back, and always the second guy gets caught. There was some jawing and maybe a punch thrown, and they called him for the second one. They were about to stop Kansas City for a field goal attempt. That sets them up first down. Kansas City instead gets a touchdown. Really poor judgment by San Francisco.
Yeah, the penalties, more of them won against the Niners and some crucial ones, and that did prove costly there for San Francisco. So, they can look back on that and really look at it as an opportunity missed. I also think
Steve Wilkes won't.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of second guessing about Kyle Shanahan too. I think if he had to do it over again, I don't necessarily agree about the overtime thing, because the Chiefs, if they got the ball first, they could have went for two right then too. If they scored, they said they would if they got the ball second. They might have done it if they got the ball first and scored, and then you don't have a chance to win the game in the second possession. But I think if Shanahan had to do it again on that 4th and 4 before Moody's last field goal, which was a good one that got them ahead by 3. That still gave Mahomes too much time to at least come back, and with Butker the way he was, the Niners are probably not going to do any better than get to overtime in that spot. What they really had to do was make sure they had the ball in the last play of the game and try to win it there, not give Mahomes a chance. And maybe Shanahan, to do it over again, might have gone for it on 4th and 4 from the 34. I know it sounds kind of radical, but I think at that point, the most important thing was keeping the ball out of Mahomes' hand. And that was the Niners' plan there. If they would got that first down. And Romo's best comments on TV the whole game were, Spagnuolo knows he's got to make something happen here, so he got very aggressive. And I thought Shanahan, maybe should have tried a play call to take advantage of that, but they couldn't quite do it, and that was another big point against the Niners.
Bruce, I'm seeing right now on social media our buddy Pat Smith down in Birmingham just tweeted that George Kliavkoff is now officially out as commissioner of the Pac-2 now. That's been going on.
What took so long?
Yeah, really, what took so long? What do you make of this whole thing going on right now with these remaining two teams? And I saw on Twitter the other night, Brett, you'll get a kick out of this, Pac-12 Network was showing a game, I think, between Fresno State and Arizona State, a game that Fresno State won like 49-0.
No, that's sad.
Yeah, I know they're not going to have much to show on the Pac-12 Network coming up. No. We heard this is coming with Kliavkoff too, and he's got a buyout due. So, how this works out with the exiting schools, who's going to have to pay it and all. But, Washington State and Oregon State are not in that bad a shape because they're kind of controlling the finances of the conference right now. Mm-hmm. And the Pac-2, is still sort of involved in the football playoff too, although they're not going to get a guaranteed spot, but, they're going to get a mention in there. So it's, we'll see how this goes with the Pac, and I do think, in 2 years, we'll see something happen there, and everything depends in the short term here on this Florida State challenge in the ACC, and I say that because the grant and rights for all these schools and the supposed ironclad media rights deals, if Florida State wins, that can nullify all that, and then all of a sudden everybody's a free agent. And the Pac-12 could reassemble, and I'm thinking first Stanford and Cal might think enough of this with the ACC, and who knows how this works with the Big Ten with all these schools and there's those in the Big 12. They could reassemble the Pac-12 and do it right within a couple of years. But something would have to happen on the media rights front there. Otherwise, they will kind of do something with the Mountain West and maybe try to pull a couple of American schools, maybe even Memphis, maybe Rice, maybe Tulane. That's coming down the road within a couple of years.
Bruce, we know, except for, a smattering of spring football news and, a little bit of PR, from now until about, media days, it's going to be tough headlines for college football writ large. I don't know anything they can do about it because when they're in season, when they have the games, when we can get to Saturday, it's bulletproof. But the off season is not kind to college football, is it?
No, it isn't. You're right, Brad. It's not, and because all the news isn't about games. We got games to talk about all fall, and then looking forward to the games starting, about media days. But it's all about backroom stuff now. It's all about the politics, and last year the news headlines before the season started got dominated by the conference stuff and the shuffling, especially the Pac-12 stuff last summer. And I think this year what you're going to see is more talk about, the NIL, how that works, and the portal. I think I mentioned this to you guys last week when I was in London talking to the guys there overseas who could not make sense of what NIL has become in college sports here. They just can't wrap their heads around it. It's so absurd what's going on there. So, most of the news is going to be kind of, yeah, you're right. It's not going to be about the games. And that's a college football need. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, Bruce, what do you make of I think earlier this week they said that the NCAA is going to rule later this offseason about the use of the technology in college basketball, the helmet devices and tablets on the sidelines, that sort of thing. We saw the trial run in bowl games this year, and it sounds like they're saying that all of the responses they've got have been extremely positive from teams. Do you expect we see this in the next year or so, and do you think this is what college football needs to be doing?
Yeah, probably. Although, if there's a decision to be made, I don't trust the NCAA to make the right decision, but I would think this is pretty – I would think this is pretty cut and dried here. It seems like something they should do and follow along with that. So I would expect that, but don't doubt me on this. The NCAA is wondering about its own existence and beyond – beyond the short term here and what's going to happen. The basketball really keeps them afloat. They are sort of out of the football business now anyway because they don't control the TV stuff. But they are very worried that, led by the Big Ten and the SEC, they might just say sayonara we're doing our own thing and try to stop us. So that's what the NC2A is most worried about, to keep some sort of influence on college sports. But they might be fighting a losing battle.
Bruce, a program you know well and you followed all your life, were you surprised the move UCLA made in replacing Chip Kelly?
Little bit, although, short term, there's a couple of things going on at UCLA. One, I think they could sign Foster for a little less money than some of the other coaches who might have been on their radar screen. Two, a lot of the assistants. So, assistants a lot of them are on one-year deals, but some of them aren't. But they can keep most of Chip's staff in place, because Foster was on staff last year, and then he went to the Raiders in January there. So they don't have to worry about any buyouts for staff. It wouldn't have been every assistant, but it would be some of them. So there was a cost factor to it. And I think they just rolled the dice here, and the timing was really rough for UCLA. It was important for them. One of the factors was short-term, to try to keep as much of this roster in place and not hit the portal. And the players apparently reacted overjoyed. A very popular guy, Foster. So, these little things, just because the timing meant a lot for UCLA. And then they're really rolling the dice that Foster's going to be able to assemble something to win there, because eventually that's going to happen. So they took care of these short-term things, but now the hard stuff begins for Foster, and we'll see. He has never been a head coach. He's never been a coordinator. That is not necessarily a bad thing. The last time, though, UCLA was in this spot where the timing was so bad was in 76, when Dick Vermeil in February 76 left to go coach the Eagles right on the eve of signing day. And J.D. Morgan had very little option other than to promote from within, and he promoted Terry Donahue. And that turned out to be fortuitous for UCLA. So they're hoping the same thing, lightning strikes twice here with Deshaun Foster, but we'll just have to hold on, and this move to the Big Ten makes things a little more tricky, but we'll see what happens.
That's a great comparison, because Terry Donahue was a popular former player, had played for Tommy Prothero, and played in a very famous game here at now Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium against Tennessee.
Yep, and I talked to Donahue, coach, about that before he passed several years before, and they still were bitter about that game. And I talked to Gary Beaver.
Tommy Prothero, he blasted his hometown. He said he was embarrassed to be from Memphis.
A Southerner, yeah. It's a shame to be a Southerner. Yeah, Gary Beaver. Yeah. I talked to him many years ago about it, and he's still bitter about it, too. So that's true. And Donahue had been on staff. He came back in 71 when Pepper Rogers came back after Prothero went to the Rams.
This is an all-Memphis story, isn't it?
Yep, it is. There's a lot of Memphis there. And Pepper, of course, was Memphis, too, with the showboats and all. But Pepper had been on UCLA staff, and Donahue went to, after he graduated, went to Kansas with Pepper, was on staff there. When Pepper came back to Westwood, he brought Donahue with him. Donahue stayed for Vermeil, and then got the call, and that worked out for 20 years to the benefit of UCLA.
Bruce, we like to hand out free advice. What advice would you give for in 5 years, he teased us yesterday that he was leaving as commissioner of baseball, but it's for 5 more years, to the next commissioner Baseball, what would you tell them they need to do first?
After Manfred. Well, I don't really like Manfred, and I think he inadvertently fell into a couple of things that seemed to work okay. Mm-hmm. Don't do anything more to speed up the game. It doesn't. I've talked to people who think maybe it's going too fast now with the clock and all that. Don't worry about the TV aspect of it so much. Baseball is pretty much fine as it is, but they're tinkering with it a little much here now. And I know short term they thought it was okay last year, but I thought there were some other factors last year that in some teams that showed up in races and things and made it a little bit more interesting. The bottom line, though, is there is in baseball, if the disparity between what teams are spending, that's just not healthy. Where the Dodgers can have this sort of a payroll, and the Mets. Well, the Mets. I mean, it shows you the Mets did it, and it didn't work out for them. But something is amiss there, and I don't know that The only solution I would think might be something, and I don't need good luck getting the teams to think this, but all of the TV money, even, and a lot of it's negotiated team by team, maybe should be just part of an aggregate. And it's not just the Dodgers' money with their TV deal, and it's not just the Yankees' money with their TV deal. That's MLB's, that's everybody's team. And that would take a lot of arm twisting. I'm not sure legally how they could do it, but that's the difference, because the revenue streams are, a lot of it is for the regional and local TV and media packages, whereas the NFL, they negotiate the whole league nationally like that, and the national stuff for baseball is not nearly as lucrative as the local stuff. So that's one thing. That would be one way to sort of smooth this out a bit. Dodger fans would hate it, but I think eventually they might try to at least bring that up. I haven't even heard that sort of a proposal put on the table, but I think the new commissioner, maybe should think about it.
Yeah. Talking to Bruce Marshall from Vegas Insider, CBS Sports, and BAMSports.net. Obviously, with football season behind us, we'll be talking a lot more basketball in the coming weeks. And I don't think we've talked much to you about the Memphis Tigers this year, of kind of the outside looking in, and especially from a handicapping standpoint. This Tiger team, since conference play has started, really struggled lately. They've lost 5 of their last 8 games following that loss last night against North Texas. What do you make of this team this year?
Very inconsistent. I mean, about a month ago, I just said, they're in the tournament. They're probably an 8 or 9 seed, something like that. Right now, I think they're on the outside. I know they won those 3 in a row recently, but that was another setback last night at North Texas. That was a bitter loss. And really, aside from like the first half of the Tulane game, for the last several weeks, I mean, it's been since the South Florida loss there. It's really been not that good. And I got to start asking about Penny. I mean, is he going to get these guys over the hump? I mean, Jones seems to be a really nice portal ad there, but for some reason, I'm just watching Memphis here. I think they've just become a little too focused upon him, maybe, and they need some of these other guys to help out a little bit. I mean, Jones has been terrific, but. And this goes back on to Penny here now, because they seem to lose a lot of these close games, and they're losing on the road too. And they just, I started to get concerned when they had all that trouble with Vanderbilt right before Christmas, and that game they won right at the end. So right now they're looking like an NIT team right now, unless they turn this thing around down the stretch. And it ain't going to be easy. They got 2 coming up with Florida Atlantic, so they'd have to win those 2, I think, to get back sort of in the good graces of the selection committee, or at least get back on the bubble. I'm not even sure they're on the bubble right now.
Bruce, I think we're thankfully spared for hosting any NIT games because that week the NCAA tournament will play first round here in Memphis, and they'll take over the building about a week out. So we're prayerfully gonna miss the NIT. I've been to my last NIT game in my life.
There you go. Remember, these teams that came from the American, from CUSA and the American, North Texas, UAB, they went to the finals of the NIT last year. Of course, Atlantic went all the way. So a lot of the success last year, postseason-wise, CUSA had a lot of success last year, but it was most of the teams that have moved to the American for this year. Actually, the American's kind of interesting. There's a lot of North Texas is still pretty formidable. So, UAB's kind of tricky too. So, and we know about FAU. So it's going to be a good race down the last few weeks.
NIT semifinals and finals will be played at Hinkle in Indianapolis this year, Bruce, because the NCAA runs it. And, they run everything so well. I'm glad they took over the NIT.
That's right.
Well, that's last year it was in Vegas. It was at the Orleans Arena.
Yeah.
And I think this is actually, anytime they play games at Hinkle, they did a few years ago. Remember, the whole tournament was in Indianapolis in 21. And they played several games at Hinkle. I thought they should have played the final at Hinkle that year. There was no reason to use the Dome because they couldn't let that many people in. They should have played it at Hinkle, but that's a good thing for the NIT to go there. That is my favorite building to watch hoops.
That's a good building. Last thing before we let you go, Bruce, anything you like tonight in college basketball? Any games you're looking out for without lines yet posted for tomorrow?
Yeah, tonight this is in the Atlantic Sun, this Queens College, these guys out of Charlotte, they just got promoted last year. They're going. Last year this happened. They're going over like every game. Jacksonville comes in, plays at a little slower pace. But this total is about 150. They went 156 the first time they played. I mean, Queens is blowing past the totals every game. So that might be another over for me, and that one for Queens. On Sunday, there's not many Sunday games this week, but UCLA gets another crack at Utah. Utah's fading here. UCLA is making a move for Mick Cronin. You've got the guards to relax. This is a big revenge game for UCLA. Got smoked by 46 at Salt Lake City last month, but they have been on a run since then. They just took out Colorado the other night. I think they beat Utah in the rematch. And I'm looking forward to Kentucky-Auburn tomorrow and Marquette-UConn, two really good games. Marquette, UConn's looking really good, but Marquette did beat them 2 or 3 last year, and they've won 8 in a row. I want to see that one. Marquette is going to be about a 7.5-point dog. Kentucky, we'll see, played a little slower pace against Ole Miss, worked pretty well for them the other night. But I'm curious where they're going to put this total against Auburn. These are two teams that like to get up and down the court and score a lot of points, but that's going to be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, you're right about that. Bruce, where can we find more of you?
Yeah, check me out online, VegasInsider.com. All the picks, not a lot tonight, but we do have some college hoops tonight. There's only one NHL game. There's no NBA for a few days with the All-Star break. But anyway, my picks there, VegasInsider.com. Also up at CBS Sportsline, Sportsline.com, and once in a while up there at CBS Sports HQ.
Have a great weekend, Bruce.
Thanks for joining us.
Okay, boys. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bruce Marshall with us every Friday. And true or false, Jacksonville's been to a Final Four.
Gotta be false.
No, it's true.
Really?
Artis Gilmore and Pembroke Burrows III, the star players. They got to the final game against UCLA.
Wow, I did not know that. Well, it was a good point by, speaking of teams going deep in the tournament, Bruce brings up those schools from the CUSA. The American boasts the CBI champion in Charlotte, who's Memphis will see on Wednesday.
That's conference pride.
The NIT champion in North Texas, and then the a Final Four team in Florida Atlantic. Conference of champions, bro.
I would amend my NIT stance to go to a game at Hinkle.
Well, that would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. I think that would change a lot in terms of how I feel about the NIT.
And trust me, my thoughts on the NIT will be whether Memphis is in it or if Ole Miss is in it.
Well, Brett, you got to start putting money on these NIT games. I think you'll feel a lot different about your viewpoint of NIT.
I would amend again, Second Amendment, not that Second Amendment, but this amendment to NIT. If they went back to playing with the red, white, and blue ball like they did.
That'd be fun. I would like that.
Did they do it 2 years? I know they did it 1 year, trying to spice up the NIT.
I like that. I wouldn't be against that. I for sure wouldn't be against that.
Speaking of spicy, this weekend, if you want to get out and enjoy really good food like that salsa they have at Jason's Deli, that's just some good stuff in the taco salad. All the food at Jason's Deli, all good, bringing more to the table. It's a family thing, all 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They can cater all 3 of those for you. 5 or 5,000, they've got you covered for a variety of delicious choices, low delivery fees, vegetarian, gluten-sensitive options, and great locations, one very close to you. Wherever you are, you're not far away from a great Jason's Deli location like in Cordova and Olive Branch, Poplar and Highland by the U of M, or at Ridgeway Road across from MUS. Healthy, first franchise in the nation to be trans fat free. It's all about choice at Jason's Deli, regardless if you seek a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals. You'll be delighted at Jason's Deli. If you'd like to invent your own, you can via the Build Your Own. Plenty of organic food to choose from. Off the menu, the salads like the chicken Caesar, the taco salad with that great salsa, the Big Chef salad, and the salad bar in every location. Over 30 items to choose from for you to prepare it however you would like. And the complimentary ice cream at every location, like at Ridgeway Road, Olive Branch, Cordova, and Poplar and Highland over by the U of M. Check them out online as well at jasonsdeli.com, and have a great weekend from everyone at Jason's Deli to you and yours.
Well, let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, we're heading out to Arkansas, talk some Razorbacks and SEC with Ty Richardson.
Be sure to follow us at Sports56 WHBQ on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube to watch live video of our shows, stay up to date with station events, and have chances to win prizes. Don't miss out on anything that's going on. Follow us at Sports56 WHBQ.
Hey, this is Eli Savoy, and I've got a question for you. Who wants to pay full retail for a pre-owned car or truck when you can buy it at wholesale? Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, right off Covington Pike, has an unlimited selection of super sharp pre-owned cars and trucks you can buy at the wholesale price. And right now, you can use your tax refund as all or part of a down payment and still just pay the wholesale price. Chevy Silverados, F-150s and Ram trucks, Tahoes, Explorers, Jeep Wranglers, Grand Cherokees, Renegades, a Cadillac SRX, Camaros, Mustang convertible, Hyundais. Check it out. Go to wucars.com or Google Wholesale Unlimited Memphis. This is great. Your money goes a long way when you can buy at the wholesale price, and tax refund time makes it even better. Go to Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, just off Covington Pike, with guaranteed approval. Tell them you heard about it right here on Sports 56, and you can thank me later.
Do you want a greener, more weed-free lawn? If you're like me, you can't stand the sight of dandelions, clover, or especially crabgrass. Hi, I'm Brandon Hawley, president of Lawn Solutions. We are your locally owned and operated weed control and fertilization company. We are also experts in disease and insect control on your lawn and landscape. Our uniformed technicians are full-time, year-round licensed and certified by the state of Tennessee. Lawn Solutions' personalized service is far more superior to that of national companies that promise but simply cannot deliver. We return phone calls, we keep appointments, and we want your business. What we will not do is bother you with endless phone calls or junk mail. Lawn Solutions will not sell you something your lawn doesn't need. If you're looking for a local lawn care company to kill your weeds and feed your grass, then Lawn Solutions is the finest. Call us at 867-5626. That's 867-5626. Or go online at LawnSolutionsInc.net. From our family to yours, we want to thank you for your business.
If you need glass replaced, there's only one name you need to know. Binswanger Glass, the largest full-service glass company in the U.S. They've been an industry leader for over 145 years. For all your residential, commercial, or auto glass needs, Binswanger Glass is the name you need to know. 24-hour emergency service for all commercial customers, plus a nationwide warranty on all professionally installed glass. Visit Binswanger Glass in Midtown at 340 South Hollywood across from the Liberty Bowl. Visit binswingerglass.com. Binswanger Glass.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your buddy Johnny Radio. I'm here with Mark, the owner of Dyer's, out in Collierville's historic town square, where they've been cooking up them burgers since 1912, the old-fashioned way. Mark, what's going on in life? I see you got your 4 kids with you. What do they love about Dyer's?
Man, they love everything about Dyer's. They love all the great food that we serve, and they really like eating our good food and watching some of their favorite sports.
Braden, what do you like at Dyer's?
I like a bacon burger with fries, a milkshake, and with a Tigers game in the background.
Carter, who's your favorite football team?
The Carolina Panthers, and just with some macaroni with that sounds amazing.
My man Beckham, what's your favorite food over at Dyer's?
We like the double cheeseballs.
Kinley, what is your favorite dish over at Dyer's?
Daddy's cheeseburgers and the Dallas Cowboys game in the background.
Just remember, everybody, bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team out and eat at our place.
So head on over to Dyer's in Collierville's historic town square.
It's leap year, so jump into big savings at Gossett Kia on the Pike. New 2024 Kia Forte LXS gets 41 MPG, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. How about 7-passenger seating? Get 2023 Kia Sorento LX, $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2024 Kia Telluride LX, $459 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease, and don't forget, every Gossett Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So call Bobby J to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online anytime at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, Forte RE 722-812, MSRP 21,590, Sorento PG 242710, MSRP 33010, Telluride RG 462-822, MSRP 38705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, island license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/29/24 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Time to talk Razorbacks on Sports Time. Joining the guys is Ty Richardson from ESPN Arkansas to talk all things Hogs and SEC. On Twitter X at Ty Sports Radio, here's Ty Richardson with Bryant and Brett.
Come on, all you Razorback fans, let's stand up and call those Hogs!
Ty Richardson joins us now from ESPN Arkansas to talk the Razorbacks and the SEC.
They're calling the Hogs at Byron Walker today.
They're calling the Hogs. They sure are. Ty, what is the energy like with Arkansas baseball starting today?
Man, it's pretty high. They're up 2 right now. I think it's the top of the 9th inning. Stepped away for a second to talk with you guys. And
we're watching it.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, it hasn't gone according to plan. Their ace, Hagen Smith, kind of got shelled initially, 3-0 in the first inning, and then Arkansas bats got going. He got pulled for Will McIntyre. I think it's just first game jitters. Hagen's going to be an All-American type of pitcher this year. He just had a bad outing. And, 4 games in Baum Walker this weekend. SEC baseball back, and college baseball's here, guys.
Yeah, and Ty, when I asked this, let me preface it with not firing anybody, not getting on Dave Van Horn excessively. I said yesterday, 2 coaches since 1972 with the great Norm DeBryan and the job that DVH has done. And I was in school with him. He was a tough guy. He was that second baseman. If you went in knees high, you were going to get a forearm right to the chops from him. Tough guy. But with the state of football and what the basketball season developed into, everybody's putting all the chips in the middle of the table on Arkansas having a dog pile in the middle of the field in Omaha. If they don't, again, he's not going to be fired, but would a level of criticism get loud enough that he'd go, you ungrateful so-and-sos, I don't need this?
Yeah, I think he's at a point where he wouldn't move on to another school. He would just retire. Maybe there would be some pushback. That's not really his nature stats, but I think you're right in the sense that Arkansas fans will be disappointed if not just they don't make it to Omaha, but in some people's mind they don't win a national championship based on how bad the basketball season was. Now, I went on a rant this morning, 64-94, 2024. Football, basketball, baseball just lines up. So hopefully it ends up coming to fruition. But based on, again, and it wasn't just those 2 teams. Baseball team got beat bad in the Fayetteville regional by TCU last year. So it's really a culmination of not just football and basketball, but how baseball did last year. Stats and Brian.
Yeah, it was a pretty shoddy exit last year to TCU that ended up not doing really anything in Omaha, and that's why I say he needs a dog pile at Omaha. He's got to win there. So following your 64-94-24, if you're right, man, you will be Nostra Ty Richardson Demesis. I don't even know what all that means. You will be the predictor of all time. Now you know the first call, the first text, the first tweet you're going to get. Oh, so you're saying football's not going to win it again until 2054, huh?
Yeah, hey, listen, if Arkansas wins in 2054, I'll be as happy as a clam. What does that put me? That puts me at about 60 years old.
My age?
Yeah. So I was going to say, Stats, if we win when I'm around your age, I'll be as giddy as a little schoolgirl, man. I just
You're going to have to tell me about it at the pearly gates someday.
Yeah, I'll fill you in once I hit those gates as well. But this baseball team has three locked-in starters. They pulled in Molina, a kid from Texas Tech who was a Friday night guy last year. Brady Tyggart's a Mississippi kid. I'm sure there's some Memphis people that know that name. Oh, yeah. And then, again, Smith not having a great day today, but he'll be solid in that SEC play. So there is an expectation. Like Kittle Rogers, D1 baseball, for example, picked him to win the national championship. So there is some, not just some homer radio Arkansas people like myself, but there are some national people that expect them to finally get that elusive national championship.
Sure they do, and that's just where that program, and it's great. Ty, I want to ask you this question because I don't want anybody to say, oh, I bet he doesn't say to you when you're on the air what he said the day before. So yesterday I did say this. I think another thing that's really agitating Razorback faithful in baseball is having to look up and see their 3 biggest rivals as the last 3 dog piles in Omaha, LSU, Ole Miss, and Mississippi State. Do you think that aggravates them? Do you think that's a source of discord?
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. I mean, Stats, I know the SEC West and East are going away after this year, and I guess baseball is really the final sport that has it. But, I mean, when you have 3 SEC West opponents, and LSU's the biggest baseball rival, they thoroughly dominated Arkansas for a little more than a decade, and Arkansas finally started to even it up a little bit lately. But I don't think there's any question. I mean, Ole Miss was thought to be like the pretty boys that couldn't get it done, and they beat you to take your rightful national championship. They beat you man-to-man, straight up, in that series, those games 2 years ago. I mean, Arkansas would have shelled Oklahoma in that game, but Ole Miss got that chance, and give them credit because they finished. They got it done. So, yeah, for three SEC Western opponents, particularly two, I would say Mississippi State's still a rival, but not to the degree of LSU and not even Ole Miss. But, yeah, it's a little frustrating, I think, for fans to add that on top of everything. I don't think there's any question about it.
With baseball starting today, outside of Arkansas, how would you rank the kind of other top teams in the SEC? I know LSU coming off of what they did last year, but you lose Skeens, you lose Cruz. I mean, who are the other dominant teams going to be in the SEC this year?
Well, Florida and LSU are the two teams SEC-wise projected above Arkansas, at least from a betting odds standpoint, to win the College World Series. Wake Forest it always seems to be a name that you got to remember. You've got some other SEC opponents like South Carolina. I think Alabama's actually supposed to have a pretty good baseball team this year as well. SEC's just loaded, and we always talk about the difficulty of navigating the SEC through football. Basketball's been really difficult this year. I think we're seeing several teams that have a chance to not just be NCAA tournament teams, but we're seeing some, like an Auburn as a Final Four team. I know Ole Miss has had a much better year than people expected. But baseball's just a different animal, guys. I don't think there's a sport within the league that has the caliber of players, coaching, and really tradition that we see in SEC baseball year in, year out. I mean, you look at what the national champions the last decade and a half, basically. I know football's had a good chunk of them too, but my goodness gracious, it's unbelievable.
It is. It starts with baseball, and here comes Texas and OU this time next year. After the game, I was driving home from the Grizzlies game Wednesday night and caught up with the Razorback game at about the 5-minute mark, and there were a couple of things. First of all, Chuck and Matt are just great, but how quiet the building was. They remarked on it after I was driving and thinking about it. But then, and I failed to do this yesterday, Bryant, and I wanted to give credit to Eric Musselman. And this is what being a coach is all about. They suffer that 29-point loss to Tennessee. I consciously looked at my clock in my car to see how long it would take for him to get back out there and do post-game, because we've had a lot of coaches either very delayed post-game, and John Calipari not at all after tough losses. He was out there in 6 minutes, courtside at Bud Walton Arena, and it was the prototype of what you should say and how you should act after you lose. He gave all the credit to Tennessee. He took all the blame for his coaching. Unacceptable. This program is too good for this. He said everything you're supposed to say. Never blamed the refs. Never whined. Didn't, like 2 minutes and get out of there. He did about 7.5, 8 minutes with them. Heck, we are doing that after a loss. We're all fine by about 2, and heck, after a win, we're all fine with about 4 minutes. He did about 7 minutes with it. I thought, man, that's a man right there. That's how you should handle it, Ty.
Yeah, and it's funny because the Tennessee opponent is kind of is coincidental with the one that Cal walked out on when Tennessee hung over 100 on his Wildcats earlier this season. I will say, guys, Muss has not done post games before, so he skipped them as well, and that I'll give him credit.
Well, it's a bad look when you don't.
Yeah, and it's part of your contract. I mean, you guys get paid to do a radio show, and even if you had a bad day or your basketball or football or whoever you cheer for the night before or the day of got creamed, I don't see you guys pouting. I know they make more money, and at some points that they think that they're above certain aspects of the job, but I mean, fans want to. Everyone, the coaches, the majority of the time, coaches, especially in college, get all the credit when you win, right? All the adulation, all the love, all the praise. But when you lose, you take all the heat, and it's a catch-22. You got to take it both. That's just part of the deal. That's why you're making millions of dollars. I think Muss make a little over $4. And unfortunately, this season, he's got a lot more criticism, and deservedly so, than what he's done the last 3 when they've been at 3 straight Sweet 16s and 2 Elite 8s.
Ty, you know how much fun we'd have on $4 million living in Fayetteville?
Golly, man. I'm telling you. Well, I'll say,
Man, the swimming pool area would be great, wouldn't it?
yeah, I'll say this, that the Northwest Arkansas housing market has gone up exponentially since you were in school back in the day. I mean, my goodness gracious. Holy cow, man.
Oh, it should have been investing in Fayetteville real estate in 1982.
Oh, my. Can you imagine, like, when you graduated, if you had any money whatsoever and you just put a down payment on a house close to the university? I mean, you would be.
I knew some boys from Houston, and it was brothers that kind of in one fell swoop. They were back to back over about 7 years, and they bought a house right there by where Bud Walton Arena is now. The intramural fields were there, and between what they saved, paying rent, and then the dad kept it for about 20 years after that, and the value of it went up. And then to build Bud Walton Arena, they had to buy him out, and they said the check was great.
Yeah, I actually, you mentioned that because I actually lived next to Bud Walton College for a bit, and we would make money off parking, and not just for the games at Bud Walton and football stadium, but the Walmart shareholder meeting. I mean, and this house was the dump. It's old, decrepit, but that location was key. And nowadays, anything remotely touching campus is going to cost.
I think I may have parked with you one time, Ty.
What's up?
I think I parked at your house at graduation one time.
You probably did, man. I probably overcharged you before we knew each other, too.
That's all good.
That's great. Well, Ty, thanks so much for joining us, and enjoy the baseball this weekend. We'll do it again next week.
All right, guys. Appreciate it as always having me on.
Thank you so much, Ty. Have a great one. Ty Richardson with us every Friday talking the Razorbacks, and it's been a tough year for Ty on football and basketball with us. Baseball bringing a little better news today. Is it a final?
I don't know if it's final yet. I know they were up
6-4 in the ninth
inning. Let's see.
They will be bundled up this weekend with the weather
final
change.
score 6-4. Arkansas on top in their first one. Does me no favors, but
no, it doesn't.
Yeah,
JMU will be around in NCAA tournament time.
Yeah, I think they will.
What a good sports year for them.
Absolutely.
Everybody, let's get down to Highway 78 to Olive Branch. First exit on Highway 78 if you cross into Mississippi. That's Kraft Goodman Road, and you're there at All-Star Chevrolet. If you're ready for a new Silverado, All-Star Chevy, they've got them financing down to 2.9 for 72 months or up to $5,000 cash back, plus you make no payments for 90 days. Your good credit deserves it, and you get it at All-Star. You're going to love everything they have down there in this month of love. The new Silverados, Trailblazers, Tahoes, Equinox. You're going to love seeing the All-Star lot and showroom loaded up again like it was pre-COVID. You want pre-owned? Everything you want's right there at All-Star Ram Trucks, Nissan Rogue, Jeeps, a Traverse with third-row seating so you can drive and do more together. Coming up for spring break or Easter, what are you going to be driving? You should be driving something from All-Star. College students, healthcare workers, military, teachers, you get an extra $500 bonus with all the other bonuses you get. Everyone at All-Star is ready for spring and ready for you to enjoy, and they have everything you could be looking for at All-Star. Just ask Kevin or Jeff, and they'll find it for you. If it's not on the lot, with all their contacts, they can find it. Remember, it's not South Haven, not Mount Moriah, not Bartlett, not Collierville. It's got to be Olive Branch. Come on down to All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch today, or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Let's go ahead and get to a break, and when we come back, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Roofing and siding, gutters too. We're the pros you can trust to get it done right. Call on us. Five Ash Roofing, the name to know. Five Ash Roofing, the only way to go. Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. Five Ash Roofing.
Is that not the corniest thing you've ever heard? Can you believe I paid good money for that silly jingle? Well, the experts say make it memorable, and I think I got my money's worth. 5S Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. 5S Roofing, 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
5S Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry, and they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
Bartlett Small Engine has free pickup and delivery both at your home and curbside for lawnmowers, blowers, edgers, and any small engine. Call 901-386-9779.
Is your wife asking you to stop eating junk food? Well, we have you covered at Humdinger's. It's quick and it's healthy, and most important, it tastes amazing. With many choices from salmon salad to rainbow trout and grilled asparagus. Come visit us for lunch at Humdinger's, 6300 Poplar Avenue. So good, Coach Penny eats with us weekly. Don't forget, Humdinger's offers full-service catering for weddings, social events, or your corporate lunches. You can call 901-260-8292 to find out more.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
East Memphis Ace Hardware is more than just a hardware store. It's really a customer service store. With 20 employees along with complete inventory of items, big to little, finding what you need is easy. Choosing from a complete selection of Big Green Egg as well as Traeger and Weber grills. And the Garden Center has everything for your yard. You can get glass cut, repair screens, even new keys with key fob programming. Tools, nuts, bolts, screws, you need it, East Memphis Ace Hardware has it. And they're just down the street at the corner of Quince and White Station.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stats Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
Well, my big number today, I've got a couple big numbers. I don't know where I'm going to go. How about this? It's a time, more of, instead of a date, 7:45.
7:45. Johnny,
7:45.
This doesn't have a decimal point in it. It's got
a date.
It's got a date.
7:45.
AM or PM?
Well, this was how much time was remaining.
Gotcha.
In a game. 7 minutes, 45 seconds was left in the first quarter, Brett. In the first quarter last night when Caitlin Clark broke the scoring record for women's basketball.
And we were saying.
We wondered it. Now, women play 10-minute quarters. So
I think I said the 8-minute mark.
Less than, less
you did.
than 3
You did.
minutes into the game, she broke the scoring record. It was crazy shot, a three-pointer. That was just
From
kind of way downtown,
Man,
kind of
she's
a running
really
three-pointer. It was incredible shot last night. Scored 28 points in the first half. And then had a career high, I think also the most points scored in that arena last night with 48. So a really,
You think she turns pro?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Indiana Fever will probably have her rights.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's going to be unbelievable, and she's already just a incredible incredible player.
Yeah, the Indiana Fever, they've won a WNBA title, though, haven't they? And I don't think that really increased in attendance any, but she would.
Whoever has that first pick, whoever ends up taking her, I mean, they would be there'd be people there every single night. I mean,
am I stunning you that I knew the Indiana Fever?
You are a little bit. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that, Brett. Yeah.
Rob used to. He would quiz me on WNBA. I finally got them all down.
Oh wow, good for you.
Yeah.
How about that?
he would. You ready for me?
I'm ready.
My big number is from last night's Tigers game, and it's why I'm not hopping mad over it, and it's this reason. I've got a decimal point, Johnny. It's 57.1. That was the 3-point percentage for North Texas.
Yep.
They made 16 threes out of 28. That's 57.1. Now, the counter to this is close out.
Yeah.
Close out strong. Get a hand in their face. But I think a lot of teams get beat at a lot of places on a night the other team shoots 57.1. You run into those games. Now, the Tigers have seemingly had a lot of opportunities to run into those games.
Yes.
We can remember at Ole Miss when, how's Murray hit all those three? Oh, Matt Morrell only gets hot against the Tigers, from being from Memphis. Well, no, that's not the case. Everybody's kind of lit it up from outside, and you're not going to win a lot of games when you allow 16 made threes on 28 attempts for 57.1.
Man, I agree with that. And also, Brett, you was right. The Indiana Fever had won the championship back in 2012.
Wow, very good, very good.
You were right. WNBA expert.
Right.
WNBA expert.
WNBA expert, incredible.
Said nobody ever.
No, probably not. No, I mean, you look at that game last night, and, that's the most three-pointers that they've taken in a game against
I'd go to a WNBA game, though.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't know. If I were in a city – now, if I'm probably in any of those cities, I'm probably on a baseball trip at that time of year or something else.
Yeah.
But if my baseball game was that afternoon and the team was playing that night, I'd go.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Especially
like you're saying
go ahead, Brian.
No, go ahead,
John. John, go ahead.
Especially when you have a talent like that coming in, like she going to change the game for that league.
She a phenom.
Yeah, she a phenom.
Absolutely, and she's not going to have trouble. Whatever team she goes to, they're not going to have trouble selling tickets. I think great for the WNBA for sure. But Brett, like you were saying on this 3-point shooting number, I mean, just giving up way too many. I'm looking back and. That's the most three-pointers they've taken since early in November against LSU when they took 32. I mean, this is
how bad did they lose to LSU?
It really went bad, 66-62.
Got blasted by Mississippi State, right?
Let's see. Yeah, Mississippi State 72-54.
I think they caught State after State had been surprised by Southern.
Yeah.
And I think that was that stretch of the schedule, and that really kind of woke State up. I remembered those games, but I'm not, I was not surprised at that loss last night. Again, when we left last night, I didn't do it gleefully. I said 60-58 North Texas. I was surprised at that many points scored, but when you make that many threes, you're going to get kind of in a rat race game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, I just think the style of it, because I think, you go back and that Auburn South Carolina game a couple weeks ago, I mean, South Carolina was doing what they could. It was just Auburn was knocking down shots, and I think that's different from what we saw the Tigers do last night, where you're just seeing guys wide open, and I think that's where people have the biggest problem with it.
Almost like you're playing 5-on-4, the guys are getting so wide open.
Yeah.
So, as we've done today, there's plenty of critical analysis, criticism there for the Tigers, but to pile on and start firing everybody, I don't think it advances anything, and I don't think it's anything new that either we haven't, or hadn't already been done today. Let's see what happens Sunday. Let's see what happens with the rest of the year, and hopefully next year get a better compilation of players. This chemistry has been off really from the beginning.
No, it absolutely has, and so we'll see what the Tigers can do on Sunday when they bounce back and play SMU. Oh, Brett, another big number I'm curious for you. We know Dave told us he's going to be golfing this weekend. What do you think he shot today?
Well, I'd like to know more about this Will Zalatoris course, but I've been with Dave on a golf course, and I'll always go with this kind of number. I'm going to start it in the high 80s.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the old proverbial. He broke 90, 89.
All right. Hey, I think you break 90. That's a good day. That's a good
Can't
day
wait
out
to
on
get
the
some
course.
scores. I'm gonna text him right now.
Absolutely.
We need to see a scorecard.
That's right. We need to see.
What are you going with?
I'll go.
Go low, and you're guaranteed to win.
That's right.
If it's a little better than that,
I'll go 86. Why not?
Johnny, you go 87.
Yeah, I'm going 87, man.
I like it. I like it. Well, we need to get to a break. Let me remind you, we're out here at the home show of the Mid-South at the Agri Center. Stop by. They're going to be here all weekend. We're giving out prizes, so make sure you stop by and register. It'll take a couple seconds. We'll be drawing those later this afternoon. They'll be here till 7 p.m. tonight. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And great prizes. Adults, $10. Seniors at 65 and up, $5. Military, you bring your active ID, $5. 16 and under, you get in absolutely free. And our friends over at Family Leisure, they're giving away a free spa to one lucky person that visits the home show this weekend. Well, let's get to a break. When we come back, we're talking Tiger basketball with Jason Munns.
Hey, this is Eli Savoy, and I've got a question for you. Who wants to pay full retail for a pre-owned car or truck when you can buy it at wholesale? Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, right off Covington Pike, has an unlimited selection of super sharp pre-owned cars and trucks you can buy at the wholesale price. And right now, you can use your tax refund as all or part of a down payment and still just pay the wholesale price. Chevy Silverados, F-150s and Ram trucks, Tahoes, Explorers, Jeep Wranglers, Grand Cherokees, Renegades, a Cadillac SRX, Camaros, Mustang convertible, Hyundais. Check it out. Go to wucars.com or Google Wholesale Unlimited Memphis. This is great. Your money goes a long way when you can buy at the wholesale price, and tax refund time makes it even better. Go to Wholesale Unlimited on Pleasant View, just off Covington Pike, with guaranteed approval. Tell them you heard about it right here on Sports 56, and you can thank me later.
Shop, compare, and save from hundreds of experts to turn your dream home into a reality. We have everything to help you remodel, refresh, and beautify your home inside and out. So come on out to the home show of the Mid-South, February 16th through the 18th at the Agri Center. You'll find special show pricing on kitchens, baths, patios and landscaping, flooring, cabinets, windows, roofing. It's all at the home show of the Mid-South, February 16th through the 18th at the Agri Center. For more info, visit memphishomeshow.com. That's memphishomeshow.com.
CMOS Insourcing Solutions in Memphis reminds everyone that the blood you donate will give someone another chance at life. Someday that someone might be a friend, loved one, or even you. Give blood and give the gift of life. That's brought to you by CMOS Insourcing Solutions in Memphis, a true blue company. Go with the name you can trust for staffing, recruitment, placement, and labor solutions. Give them a call at 901-794-3300, online at cmossolutions.com.
Step up your wings game at East Coast Wings and Grill. With 60 wing flavors and 7 heat indexes, do you have what it takes to turn the heat on your wings up to insanity? East Coast Wings and Grill is family friendly with a large variety menu to satisfy the whole bunch. Sign up today for their loyalty program and taste the rewards. For every dollar you spend, you collect a point. Earn 100 points and receive a $5 reward. Next to Lowe's off Highway 64 in Bartlett, come try America's best wings at East Coast Wings and Grill.
Looking for your next car? Give Car Corner a try. Car Corner, located at 2653 Mount Moriah. They specialize in cars under $15,000. Bad credit? No problem at Car Corner. CarCornerMemphis.com. That's CarCornerMemphis.com. They even have cash cars under $7,000. That's Car Corner at 2653 Mount Moriah. CarCornerMemphis.com. Look for the building with the teal green roof.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's really starting to build down through the Midtown area on 240 southbound from South Parkway all the way down to Norris. Can run a little bit slow from time to time as it increases even more 40 west across the bridge back over into West Memphis. 240 east is also heavy from, let's say, Mill Branch all the way out to 385. Weimer's Jewelry, they're located at 7525 Highway 64. They are your full-service, family-owned jewelry store right here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Jean Company in Collierville. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
Final hour of a fun week, and we're at the home show of the Mid-South, and we're at the Agri Center. We'll be here until 6 o'clock. They're going to be here all weekend hours, all day tomorrow and all day Sunday afternoon. Invite you to come out and just dream of what you can have this summer, whether it's inside or outside, bathrooms, showers, flooring, ceiling fans, pool tables, fire pits, the patio areas. They've got it here at the Agri Center at the home show of the Mid-South, and we've had a lot of fun being out here. Every Friday afternoon we talk Tiger basketball, and we do it with Jason Munns from the Commercial Appeal. He's on the Tigers basketball beat, and it's presented to you by Jim's Place Grill. Over 100 years of charcoal grill steaks, over 100 years of family time, celebrations, and lasting fun, great memories. The Terrace family, with their touch for our community, recipes that date back to the beginning in downtown to now in Collierville at the railroad tracks at Poplar and Houston Levee. Online at jimsplacegrill.com. Don't forget the E in Grill. I went there last Friday night. As soon as I got off, I may do that again this weekend. What a way to start the weekend. Every steak grilled perfectly over an open flame. Come to Jim's Place and see and taste and feel the difference. Lunch hours Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Dinner hours Monday through Saturday, 5 p.m. to 9:30. Since 1921, a Memphis staple, a Memphis landmark, hard work, values, and a dedication to their very valuable diners, the Terrace family. They've created a memorable dining experience. The lunch menu, the staples like the souffle ma, the shrimp cocktail, crab cakes, and those salad dressings, all homemade. And at dinner time, seafood, soups, calamari, the hash browns to go with these steaks, fillets, ribeyes, and strips. Great bar area, all at Jim's Place Grill in Collierville. In fact, Bryant, last Friday night, I watched that Dayton, Virginia Common game in the bar area at Jim's Place Grill last Friday night. Jason Munns on the Tiger Beat with us now from deep in the heart of Texas. One down, one to go on Sunday. Last night was not so good in Denton. Good afternoon, Jason.
Good afternoon. I'm actually back in DeSoto County, believe it or not.
You are? Wow.
I am. I will be. I flew out to Dallas yesterday, flew back today, flying back tomorrow, and then back home on Sunday. Yeah.
What a busy weekend.
That's a lot of airport time,
Sure
Jason.
It is. But thankfully, they're all direct flights. So
that's right.
That helps.
That was disappointing last night, Jason. I have not been as bombastic, as heated as I have been over some other losses this year with this.
Yeah.
Now, the easy comeback is get out and guard it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if you can beat 16 made threes. Anybody, anywhere.
You know, yeah, that there is that. I mean, because North Texas won that game, it is now a quad one loss. And so that doesn't really do much to hurt you in the bracketology. Like, Memphis is still very much on the bubble. They're a little bit, obviously, worse for wear than they were before the game, but they are not off the bubble just with that loss. So just wanted to get that out of the way first. But
perception's
really,
getting killed, but reality's not.
Yes. Well, I mean, we can get into it. What it all means, you know, we'll get into it more deeply a little bit later. But no, as far as last night was concerned, it was just what hurt is what really, I think, as far as perception, you mentioned perception, as far as that goes, I think it was simply because North Texas hit so many so early, and so many of the ones they hit early were so wide open. So wide open. Like, they weren't even, it wasn't like they were just hitting, it wasn't like Memphis was just late on closeout. They weren't, there were, you know, multiple made three-pointers for North Texas where Memphis didn't even make an effort to even try to make it look like they were attempting a closeout or something. It just, and then on top of it, there were the turnovers. They had 9 turnovers in like the first 10 minutes of the game, 8 or 9 turnovers in the first 10 minutes of the game, and they were careless. They were absolutely careless turnovers. And it's like, you know, you can have one or the other, and obviously Memphis had both, and still somehow miraculously figured out a way to come back and get
ahead,
get a lead, which is just mind-blowing to me. Which obviously the big reason why is because the only thing North Texas could do on offense was hit 3-pointers. They couldn't hit a 2 to save their life. They weren't getting to the free throw line, so that
couldn't
was
rebound.
Memphis. No, that's what was keeping Memphis in the game. But you can live with one or the other, the turnovers or the extremely bad perimeter defense. It's really hard to live with both at the exact, as they're happening simultaneously. That's just really, really, really tough pill to swallow. But Memphis cut the lead, I think, to 5 with like 2 minutes to go in the game. So it was like there was never a time where they were out of it. They trailed by 15 and cut it to 5, with a chance to cut it to a 1-possession game, still with time on the clock. But it's a hard one to reconcile. It's a difficult game to reconcile because you lost by 10. You only put up 66 points. It's a North Texas team on the other side that was down 2 starters, and you still couldn't get it done.
And Jason, I've gotten to, it's not a comfort spot. It's I'm not trying to find a happy place, but I've just gotten to kind of a point of resolution that this team is just simply not that good.
Yeah, I see a lot of people, or not a lot, but I see some people saying that, and I believe it. I believe that to be true. But where I have a hard time sort of computing that is the potential to be great is right there. Like, they aren't very good. They were not very good last night, and they were not very good against Rice, and they were not very good against UAB. But the potential it's always been there, and it's still there to be great. And I think that is truly at the crux of this whole season, why it got people as frustrated as they are, because they should not be not good, not very good. And yet here we are.
Well, talking about the 3-point shooting for North Texas, you had a tweet after the game where a couple of the North Texas players were speaking to the media, and John Buggs III said, they were putting 2 on the ball a lot, and we expected that. Jason Edwards, who went off for 30 points, 7 for 9 from 3, he said that their head coach, Ross Hodge, told the team not to be surprised at how wide open they were going to be able to get from 3. So, this isn't, just something that has come out of nowhere. Other coaches in conference are realizing, hey, this team is very poor at defending the 3, and they're making that a game plan of, look, you're going to get wide open attempts, be ready for it, and knock down those shots.
Yeah, my jaw just about hit the floor when they were saying those things. I
was shocked when I saw that.
When they were saying out loud that their head coach told them going into the game, you're going to be open. They're going to leave you open. Don't worry about it. You're going to be open. Don't be surprised is I think the way they said he communicated it to them. And and one of them, I think it was Buggs, said, he told us not to be surprised, but it's still hard. It's hard not to be surprised in the moment when we look around and there's nobody within 10 feet of us.
Like a shooting drill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. So, and that this is not the first time that an opposing coach or player has said something that has made my eyebrows raise. After the Temple game, Adam Miller, the first-year head coach at Temple, said that he pulled out his laptop I think he meant during the game, and showed his players, his team, what the score was at halftime of the Memphis-South Florida game and what the final score was, to illustrate to them that Memphis is notorious for, like, sort of going on cruise control too soon. And if you to his point, Memphis was up 23 points in that game, and they only won by 7. That to me is that's a trend now, where you've got opposing players and opposing coaches sort of dancing on you a little bit after these games, including one who did it after a loss. I don't know. It's all just kind of so bizarre considering where things were just a month ago.
Absolutely.
But no, that North Texas coach is really good. Ross Hodge. He got his Division I start down at Southern Miss under Larry Eustace down at Southern Miss a little while ago. Yeah.
How about that? Yeah, no, a good coach for sure. I saw they were talking about this on the broadcast.
Do for your employees or family's health, provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Admit it. When you start thinking about tastes of Memphis, you think treats, sweets. You think Dinstall's. For 122 years now. What is that, 5 generations? When people wanted something to bring to a party that will just make everybody happy, they bring out Dinstall's. 122 years of cashew crunch, of heavenly hash, of turtlettes, of their award-winning fudge. That's worldwide. It's known that well. Then there's the milk chocolate. It all starts there. There's the double-dip peanuts. And then every fall, those famous chocolate-covered strawberries with that fondant. And they won't tell you what's in the fondant, but it makes it oh so special. And easy to get to. 5 locations. There's where they make the candies in Pleasant View. There's Germantown. There's Collierville. There's even one downtown and in my neck of the woods in Laurelwood. You know what? 122 years made in Memphis and enjoyed by the whole world. Dinstall's. I often say they've set the bar for the way car business should be done at Homer Skelton Hyundai. You know how close that is. It's right there at Highway 78, Lamar Avenue, and Craft Road, the very first exit in Mississippi. I say it because they always come up with new innovations. And right now, when we've had all these shortages on new cars, Homer Skelton Hyundai is always going to come through for you. You won't pay more than the sticker price for a new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's Chris True's pledge. You'll never pay more than sticker price. Those other guys, they could charge you a whole lot more for that new car because they know there's a shortage. That never happens at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's part of the philosophy and the team that's been together for about 15 years now. You want the best of service? You want the best of products? It's the combination and the trust you'll always get from the best guys around. Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
I'm with John Burgos from the world-famous Rendezvous in the Alley since 1948.
Brett, we have catered parties all over this country and all over the world, from Singapore, Australia to Central Park in New York, but many people don't realize how much we do locally. For holiday events, office parties, tailgating, birthday parties, you can't do better than the Rendezvous. For example, you can get a cheese and sausage tray for 15 to 300 people for $3.75 a person. You can even build your own nacho bar for $10.50 per person. All you need is a minimum of 15 people. In many cases, we can arrange delivery and full-service catering. We've even made it easy to get to-go items. You can just park at our front door in the alley, put on your flashes, and we'll get you going ASAP. For all your catering items and prices, go to hogsfly.com, click on menu, and drop down to catering.
Thank you, John. The Rendezvous, Mr. Charlie Burgos' Rendezvous in the Alley since 1948 and celebrating its 75th year.
Welcome back in. We had some technical difficulties
We're very sorry.
out here. Yeah, it might be the weather. I know it's getting dark.
Might have been my left foot. I may hit the wrong chord.
Might
I'm
have
sorry.
been. Who knows? But we're back, and we're going to get Jason Munns back on the line. But
yeah, and Johnny, we'll try to get Jason back, and we won't break it.
Yeah.
5:25 like we normally do, and we're very sorry for that, but it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Weather certainly moving, and I don't know if we can blame it on weather or blame it on us.
Well,
but
we'll blame it on
we're sorry
somebody.
either way.
Yeah.
We're having a great time out here at the home show, and want you to come by. We're here until 6. And they're here all weekend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, but we were talking to Jason. We'll get him back, and, we were kind of talking about it, and I think we got cut off right when I was asking him the question, but you could see they were talking about it on air. They were talking about how animated Penny Hardaway was, how frustrated he was looking earlier in that first half. I know Jason Munns posted a video of that same thing. And so, it's just one of those things where I think when these losses pile up and you're really struggling in conference play, frustration rises, and I think you see something like that from Penny Hardaway. But I am curious once we get Jason, if that is.
I think we got Jason now.
Okay, perfect. Well, Jason, I'm sorry we got cut off with you when we did, but what I was asking was you posted on Twitter. They were talking about it on the broadcast a lot last night. I think the first time they talked about it was, I think it was when the Tigers early in the game couldn't really find their rhythm, and I think maybe Malco got called on an offensive foul, and they said, man, Penny Hardaway looks very animated on the sidelines. He is very frustrated. You tweeted out a couple minutes after that of how animated and frustrated he was looking. Is that one of the more frustrated, more animated you've seen Penny Hardaway since he's taken over as head coach?
Yes. Well, I don't know. That may be going a bit far. He did get a technical a couple of seasons ago. I believe it's still the only one he's ever gotten. So I've seen it a couple times here and there, but this season, by far, the most animated I've seen it. There was one time, I think, a few games ago, where there was sort of a dust-up between the teams, and he kind of was taking up for his guys, and there was something like that was going on. But this was totally geared, part of it, I think he was upset with the referee on that offensive foul call that Malcolm picked up. But I had somebody tweet at me that the replay showed that Malco actually elbowed the North Texas player, swung an elbow at him or something like that. But no, like what I saw, what I was able to get on video and posted on Twitter, I think he's feeling it. Like just talking to him after the game.
Yeah, he's feeling it.
He's really starting to feel the crunch, and like I said before, it's just kind of crazy when you think about it, how fast we've gotten to this point and how far we've come just in such a short span of time.
Jason, I said earlier, I went through the whole litany. He's not being fired. He shouldn't be fired. He is Penny Hardaway. He is that guy. And he is arguably, I don't think there's any argument to it, but some can. He is bigger than the program. And he's certainly bigger than the program for what it's been the last 15 years. It hadn't done a lot.
Yeah. There's really, there's a lot that goes into being the head coach of a Division I basketball program. But really, there's three sort of main ones, and that's recruiting, like fan interest, fan brand awareness, that sort of thing, and then winning games. And he's checked the top two off and is arguably elite, like one of the best in the country going right now at both of those things. As I mentioned, brand awareness and recruiting. Like there's very few who can match him in what he does in those two areas. And to be fair to him, he's made the NCAA tournament the last 2 years and won the NIT championship the year before that. Has never missed the postseason at Memphis. Has won, whatever the percentage is, pretty good. It's not bad. It's not elite, but it's not bad either. And so it's just, I think the issue here is we are in season 6 of Penny Hardaway, and I think what is really starting to grate on people is how every single season it's always something. It's always something. And
a lot of drama.
2 years ago they were all young. And there was a ton of injuries 2 years ago. So you had that going against you. And then last year it was, you only had Kendrick Davis and DeAndre Williams, and then it was everybody else. And then now this year it's, there's so many new guys. There's only 2 guys who've ever played for me before, and you've got, however many new players you have. And so I think that's really where people are starting to get it's starting to wear thin on people, the fact that, you just can't seem to get over that hump. It's like every year you tell us you got the number 1 recruiting class, and then the next year you tell us you got an All-American running point guard and another All-American candidate as like his running mate. And then you go out and you get this band of great transfers, and yet here we are. And so, I think to be fair to Penny, he's done some great things, and by no means is in danger whatsoever of losing his job. But
I would put it at 0, and I would put it him. I mean, I'm hearing some saying, for the university, he needs to go in and him step away. I would put firing at 0. I would put him, and I don't mean this word as critical as it's going to sound. I would put him quitting, just saying I've had enough, at less than 0 times a billion divided by 500 million. 0, 0, 0. He's not going to quit.
No. That's like not under these circumstances. He may walk away one day, but it's not going to be until, he feels like he's accomplished what he set out to accomplish. Like there's no, he's got a plan and he's got goals, And until he reaches them, he's not walking away.
I do think, Jason, though, it's setting up, maybe not this year, maybe not the home games remaining this year. And there are, just some critical home games remaining. Even if it was going well, Charlotte, FAU, UAB at home. I don't think they come out there, but early into next year, if it was another staggering start, I think the first time he ever got booed at home would hit him different. That would smack.
Oh my goodness, you're yes. I agree with you, and let's hope that it doesn't ever get to that point. That would be.
I sure do.
That would just be not good for anybody involved.
I don't remember a Tiger coach ever met with coarse abuse, smattering at the end of Josh, even at the end of Tubby, smattering. Not at the end of Larry Finch, not at the end of Tick Price. People were disaffected. Not at the end of Coach Kirk. Not at the end of Wayne Yates. I mean, everybody kind of he was a former player that people didn't like seeing it in like that, and it was a Memphis laden team. So the Tiger basketball fans have not been a chorus of boo, just smattering, disappointed. Tiger football fans though got on Brady White good a few years ago.
Oh boy, did they ever with all those turnovers? Yeah, that was I remember that well, but. No, I there's 6 games left in the season. So it starts obviously Sunday at SMU. That's a quad 1 opportunity. Depending on how FAU finishes the season, there's going to be at least one of those games is at least going to be a quad 1 opportunity, possibly both of them. Charlotte at home is going to be quad 2. UAB at home is going to be quad 2. So, there are opportunities here for, as I was mentioning before, Memphis is still in the bubble. But anything short of running the table.
Our friend Shelby Mass, that used to be the bracketologist at Gannett, he's got the Tigers in today, and I've texted him. I said, Shelby, what do you know we don't know in Memphis?
Did he respond?
He texted back. He goes, got to be 68 teams in the bracket, Brett.
That's a good point.
That is true. But so I do think, though, that you got to run the table. I think Memphis starts today at 80 in the net, 81, something like that. I think if you run the table, you can
81.
get to around. I think you can get to around 60 if you run the table. Maybe
SMU's 40.
Maybe even mid 50s. And you could possibly even get higher than that if you blow some of these teams out. If you go down, let's say you go into Sunday's game against SMU, as you said, they're 40th in the net. If by some happenstance Memphis goes in there and beats them by 15 or 20, that's going to be worth quite a bit of movement in the net. And the higher
12
you go
spots,
there,
10 spots, yeah.
Probably closer to 12, I would say, just because the win's going to be good and it's going to be worth quite a bit on its own. But and so the higher you go in the net, the better the better that is for your prospects on Selection Sunday. But to me, anything short of running the table is you're, at that point you're crossing your fingers for a run in the conference tournament.
Yeah. Jason, last thing for you, and I appreciate you again for hopping back on with us after those technical difficulties. So Sunday, for the Tigers, after what you saw last night against North Texas and going up against an SMU team that I think in their mind they think they got robbed when they were here in Memphis, kind of led that game early. Tigers come back late and win it. They're going to want revenge on their home court. What do the Tigers need to do on Sunday to leave Dallas with a win?
Rebound the ball very well, especially on defense. SMU is 8th in the country in offensive rebound percentage. They have 3 guys. Wow. They have 3 guys on their team. 3 who all have 43 offensive rebounds on the season or more. That's Samuel Williamson, I think Tyreek Smith, and then the other one Hilton. They rebound the ball really, really well on offense, and they're a very, very good defensive team as well. Zurich Phelps can score the ball. Chuck Smith can score the ball. Now, I think Zurich Phelps was held below his average in the game here. Chuck Smith was held well below his average in the game here. And they might actually have a point, or they might actually have an argument for the fact that they were robbed. They were up 12 at halftime, if you remember. SMU was up 12, and it took one of those late Javon Quinterly three-pointers to break a tie with 3.8 seconds left in the game. Memphis ended up winning 62-59. But another interesting note about that game that I found when I was doing the preview for this game, that's the fewest amount of points for both teams all season was scored in that game.
Wow.
Yeah. So
they only got 15 in the first half, didn't they?
Who's that?
SMU?
No, SMU was winning by 12.
No, the Tigers were held to 15 at half, yeah.
Yeah, whatever it was. The Tigers had a very rough start in that game.
Yeah.
But I think you got to keep SMU off the offensive glass. You got to hold down their two main scorers again, Zurich Phelps and Chuck Smith, and you have to take care of the basketball. End of story.
Yeah.
They turned the ball over 15 times the other day, and I can't remember the exact number of points off turnovers that North Texas had last night, but it was quite a bit. And you gotta not turn the ball over. So I think that's
I looked it up. It was 30. I was way off. It was 36-24. SMU at half. You're right about the 12-point lead, and then Memphis had that quick start before that first media timeout in the second half, and then ended it with the Quinterly jumper to win by 3. I thought SMU played way too fast in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's they've won 5 in a row. SMU has, and so they've got some momentum, and it's on their home court, so it's not going to be easy. But if the Tigers have any prayer of, as I said before, if they got any hope whatsoever of making a run at it here, it has to start Sunday.
Say hi to President Bush for us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know. I've seen him a couple times there. I don't know if he was at the one last season, but no, he would have been because Kendrick was there. That's right. But we'll see if I can get.
And SMU president, my old buddy Gerald Turner, who used to be at Ole Miss.
Oh, very cool. Well, yeah, I will. I will send along your best.
Jason, you're the best. Thanks you for
Jason.
hanging with us during the technical issues, and we sure appreciate it.
I appreciate y'all having me on every week.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jason. Jason Munns from the Commercial Appeal. He's a Tiger basketball beat writer, as always presented by Jim's Place in
Best guest to have during all the issues. Jason is so calm and so good to us, and we appreciate it so much. Johnny, like I said, no break. We'll go to about 40-45 like we normally do. Have you seen the predictor for Sunday, the matchup predictor?
Wow, holy cow.
SMU at 80.7
unreal.
Over the Tigers, 19.3.
Let's see what old Kim Pom says.
According to ESPN Analytics. So
Kim Pom has SMU winning 79-72, 74% chance of winning.
Well, a lot of people are burying the Tigers today.
Well, and for good reason.
I didn't want to join in on that. I reserve the right to change my mind on Monday, though.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, and a lot can change.
Might change my mind in a few minutes. Last night, Tiger bankroll.
No, we don't got to talk about that.
You talking about
talk about it, Brett?
Johnny wants to
talk about it, Brett.
Last night on Tiger bankroll, this is one of the remarkable comebacks. Johnny got down as low as 585, and he has rattled off 8 straight wins.
Hey, man.
He's now 14-11 on the year.
Man, Brett, I got the hot hand, man. I've got the hot hand.
Whatever.
I hate to roll with it.
The ice cold hand. I mean, everything I picked
up the 75 bones last night to get back to 1,000. Bryant had the Tigers, lost 100, 10-15 on the year. He's at 7-10. I got the win with North Texas. I swear I had 90 written down originally. Switched back to 40 and wanted to switch with you walking out of the building last night, and we don't do it that way.
No.
So I stayed with North Texas. I'm at 14-11 for the year.
Wow.
I'm at 14-75 for the year. The Tigers are now 9-16 against the spread, and we talked about it yesterday, the first time they'd been an underdog since December 10th against Texas A&M, and they'll be the underdog Sunday.
Yeah, no, it's definitely looking like they'll be an underdog yet again. And like Jason said, I mean, 5 wins in a row for SMU, so they're coming in hot. Tigers certainly did not think they'd be losing last night. I don't think wanted that loss, and so it's going to be an interesting one Sunday afternoon.
I'm saving all thoughts about the NIT until after
I got an
Monday
updated NIT bracketology if you want it, Brad. I mean, only if you want it.
But we're going to do that.
No. Absolutely not. Indiana State in the first round. I don't know what this NIT bracketology has. Indiana State's making the dance. I mean, great team. Just in the top 25, Brett.
All right, go ahead and give it to me.
All right, let me find it.
Is it Barking
It is Barking
Crow?
Crow, yeah. Filibuster for a second.
I think I called him Barking Dog once a few weeks ago, didn't I?
Well, I mean, it happens, I guess.
Well, dogs bark. I guess crows do as well.
I guess so. Let's see if I can find
I know they
it.
fly in a straight line. They always say as the crow flies.
They do.
I wish it laid the roads out. I wish they'd laid the roads out like the crow flies.
Here we go. Our NIT bracketology. Let me see if I can get a more up to date. No, I shouldn't say up to date.
They used to be slow and they like to update on Fridays.
Today's the update. They have the Tigers playing Indiana State in the first round of the NIT. If they were to win that game, they would play the winner of Xavier, we don't know anymore how to pronounce that team, and Virginia Tech. So,
So the Indiana State game on the road?
See, they don't have it broken down.
It would have to be because
be on the road,
FedEx Forum is booked complete that week because we got NCAA tournament games that Friday, and I know they take the building over the weekend before that and don't hand it back to the Grizzlies until a few nights after that Sunday completion.
That'll be a fun weekend.
Of the second round game. It will be. I think our crowd will largely be dependent on the pod system.
Yes,
if the pod's not friendly to us, I'm sorry, I don't think we'll have a very big crowd, and I think ticket sales have been on the lighter side.
Have they really? I hate to hear that. I want to, try to get out there for that Saturday or
Sunday
or Sunday. Yeah, Sunday.
Friday, Sunday games.
So I want to try to get out there on Sunday. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm trying to look up Joe Lenardi. I think he updated his bracket today. He did. Let's see what he has.
Yeah,
for
Memphis. It was outside the possibility.
Yikes.
I think.
I hate that.
Shelby's hanging in there with the Tigers.
Shelby has the Tigers still in, of course.
He'll be with us Monday at 4:30.
So here are the Memphis teams that Joe Lenardi thinks: Houston versus Sam Houston, Florida, Washington State. That's one pod. That doesn't really do much.
The battle for Sam Houston's soul.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, here we go. Florida Atlantic versus the winner of Ole Miss and Gonzaga.
Ole Miss would sell.
And then Alabama versus Morehead State.
Bama would sell, but I don't know if it would be robust.
But you're hoping. You're certainly hoping for Ole Miss to get out of that play-in game, and then
ideally Tennessee.
Ideally Tennessee. But I mean, I would like to see a couple of those teams.
And this was the year. Arkansas for a long time had it planned. Memphis opening weekend, Dallas second weekend, on the way to Phoenix. We know about plans. We also know this hour of our show brought to you every day by Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Jean on the historic square in Collierville. They've been there since 1961. Charles Hall started working there in his teens, and now with his wife Laura, they own the place, known for all the boots, but also clothing, accessories, and a cool cap for any team for any season. Western wear, work boots, safety toe or soft toe boot, rubber boots. They've got them. Boots for every occasion at Hewlett & Dunn. From head to toe, they will have you covered with every name brand imaginable, like the great brands like Dan Post, Ariat, Anderson Bean. Whether it's for men or women, men's and women's clothing, they've got them. Jeans, pants, shirts, shorts, outerwear, and the best duckhead collection you'll find anywhere. Charles and Laura Hall invite you to 111 North Center Street or go to HewlettDunn.com. But they want you to come by and visit. It's a real source of pride and joy what they've done with their business, and they want to share it with you. Hats, sunglasses, boot care products, every area team snapback cool hat you can think of. For Mississippi State, for the Tigers, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and the Razorbacks. For travel, the bag selection, top-notch. HewlettDunn.com. But please stop, visit, say hello at 111 North Center Street on the square in Collierville at Hewlett & Dunn. What do you think the point spread will be Sunday against SMU?
Oh, man.
Are there any predictive things like that with with KenPom?
Usually KenPom take a couple points off his score and you've got it. I think he'll probably be around 3.5.
If last night was 1.5, you know that SMU will be favored.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You know, you go out, you're a dog on the road, you lose that game, go up against a team that's really been rolling over these last couple of days, last couple of games. I think it's a pretty good bet that you'll be an underdog again. So I'm thinking probably about 3.5. I don't think it would be super big because I do think there are people in Vegas that think, you know, this Tigers team could go out and you know, they have that potential, like Jason Munz was talking about, to go out and win big. But I don't think anybody's setting the line of the Tigers being a favorite on the road.
You had the news earlier, and I'm sad to hear it. I think most that are golf fans are sad to hear that Tiger Woods had the WD at Riviera. Unbelievably, he's never won as a pro there, and that was the debut tournament back in 1992. And, Brian, I can remember it when just been hearing about this phenom. Well, we watched him grow up on the Merv Griffin show doing tricks as 2 or 3 year old with golf swings and clubs and working the ball like that, and he lived up to it. And now today, this exit after last year at the Masters, more surgeries, more injuries, and all those darn birthday candles on that birthday cake, it's caught up.
Yeah, and we were talking about it during a break earlier. I mean, he doesn't look right. You know, he looked like he was kind of lumbering
like he's
around.
Walking on hot coals,
doesn't it? It didn't look good early. I mean, from his second shot yesterday, it didn't look good. And so I think got through 6 holes today before having to WD. So I mean, just sad to see him like this because I mean, we remember the just greatness of him, and up until a couple years ago, it was still greatness. And now just really, really hard to watch.
That win at the Masters in 2019, that Sunday, and had to move up play real early to be there and to watch him complete that and see how that crowd, how those patrons, they don't want to call it gallery, those patrons, how they love him. And you could sense in him I love y'all back finally.
Yeah. So really sad to see that news today and kind of the big news in the sports world. But we need to go ahead and take a little bit of an early break because we got thrown off there earlier. So let's go ahead and take a break. And when we come back, we'll wrap up today's show with Taco Bell Crunch Time.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
The President's Day weekend sale is here at Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf. Don't miss incredible deals like 20% off used clubs, 30% off select apparel, and get custom fit on the new TaylorMade QI10 drivers. Book your free custom fitting online today. Swing into Edwin Watts Golf Shops by Worldwide Golf for the President's Day weekend sale, or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. If you need a new roof for your home or business, we hope to hear from you and will work hard to earn your business. We are experts and certified in residential and commercial roofing, siding, and gutter installation. I have been serving the Memphis area for over 20 years, and now with 2 of my sons working with me, we plan to be here for years to come. So if you need a roof, please give us a call. On a personal note, what a great time it is to be a Memphis sports fan. With the Grizzlies and the Redbirds and 901 FC, not to mention Tigers football and basketball, it's going to be a fun year. Thanks to Coach Silverfield and Coach Hardaway and their staffs for their dedication to the student and athletes, the University of Memphis, the City of Memphis, and us fans. Five Ash Roof Services, a proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
If you've tried to buy a Rolex watch lately, you know how difficult it is. New models are in rare supply. Some jewelers put you on wait lists. Others make you buy their other jewelry at inflated prices just to be considered for a Rolex purchase. Well, that's all changed now that Genesis Diamonds has arrived. Genesis Diamonds is the premier dealer of luxury pre-owned Rolex timepieces. People who come in are shocked to see Daytonas, Hulks, Submariners, Pepsis, Datejusts, all the hard-to-find Rolex watches ready to wear today. At Genesis, we've used our worldwide connections to find only the first luxury pre-owned Rolexes, immaculate, pristine watches, fairly priced with no strings attached, and with flexible financing options. So enough with the wait list and the retail jeweler games. Get the Rolex of your dreams today at Genesis Diamonds. And if you already have a Rolex and are interested in trading up, we also have Rolex buyers on site every day. Just another example of how we're forever changing the jewelry landscape here. Genesis Diamonds, official jeweler of the Tennessee Titans at Poplar and Perkins Extended.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous. A legendary experience for over 75 years, whether you dine in, pick up, or ship across the country.
It's a new year, and Family Leisure has a new way to bring family and fun together. All you have to do is walk into Family Leisure and look around. All those floor model patio sets you see, those have got to go. So Family Leisure can make room for all the new sets coming. Get a wicker sofa set for under $2,000. Pool tables under $1,500. Theater seating for under $2,000. Hot tubs for $4,000 or just for yourself. If you really want to lounge, they're under $5,000. Need patio cushions? Get them as low as $25. Oh, have you seen those infrared steam saunas? Well, now they and the traditional saunas are 25% off. It may just be the first few weeks of 2024, but that doesn't mean you can't start getting ready for summer. Two final things. Purchase your above-ground pool now and get first in line for installation, and take advantage of special financing that's available. Family Leisure, Whitten Road and I-40, bringing the family and the fun back together.
Join the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts for an evening with Cal Ripken Jr. February 22nd and celebrate a true champion. Ironman Cal Ripken Jr. played 2,632 consecutive games for the Baltimore Orioles. This 19-time All-Star, two-time American League MVP, and Baseball Hall of Fame inductee is a true baseball icon. Get tickets at HeindelCenter.org to see Cal Ripken Jr. 7:30 p.m. Thursday, February 22nd at the Heindel Center for the Performing Arts on the campus of Northwest Mississippi Community College in Senatobia.
It's leap year, so jump into big savings at Gossett Kia on the Pike. New 2024 Kia Forte LXS gets 41 MPG, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. How about 7-passenger seating? Get 2023 Kia Sorento LX, $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. 2024 Kia Telluride LX, $459 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease, and don't forget, every Gossett Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So call Bobby J to put you in a new Kia today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or online anytime at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, Forte RE 722-812, MSRP 21,590, Sorento PG 242710, MSRP 33,010, Telluride RG 462-822, MSRP 38,705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/29/24 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
They say you can't pick the best barbecue in Memphis.
Who is they?
The people that say things.
Like what?
Well, that you can't pick the best barbecue in Memphis.
Well, that's ridiculous. It's Central Barbecue.
Well, I'm telling you, these people said that you can't even say Central Barbecue is the best barbecue in Memphis.
But it is. There's no better slow-smoked, perfectly cooked barbecue in Memphis or anywhere else.
Look, I'm just saying that they say...
What else did they say?
Well, you know, that the earth is flat.
You have got to get off of social media.
That's what they say as well.
Are you ready to start a rewarding career that's bigger than you?
Join us on Saturday, February 17th, 2024, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. for our hiring expo at the Memphis Police Academy, 4731 Academy Drive. Salary starts at $54,611, increasing to $72,000 after 3 years. If you want to serve the Memphis community, join the best in blue. For more information or details, visit joinmpd.com.
All 650 acquisition fee, Forte RE722-812, MSRP 21590, Sorrento PG 2422710, MSRP 33010, Telluride RG 462-822, MSRP 38705. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 2/29/24 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Hey, Jeff Allen, you ready to get this party started at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah?
You bet I am, Randy. Gossett's got your new Kia that gets 41 MPG highway. 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $239 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Need extra room? How about a 2023 Kia Sorrento LX at $319 a month, $34.99 due at signing. And a 2024 Kia Telluride S all-wheel drive, $459 a month, $34.99 due at signing. All 36-month lease.
Plus, get peace of mind because with every Gossett Kia, you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
2680 Mount Moriah or online, KiaMountMoriah.com.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Jean Company in Collierville. Once again, here are Brett Norsworthy and Bryant Dacus.
If I go crazy, then will you still call me Superman?
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started, so...
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This is for all the biggest crunch time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that?
Goodbye! Hello, Haskins. It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
The double steak grilled cheese burrito, so good. Double the steak with nacho cheese sauce, seasoned rice, red strips, sour cream, and the 3-cheese blend wrapped inside a warm flour tortilla, with even more 3-cheese blend grilled on the top. The double steak grilled cheese burrito, it hits the spot now at Taco Bell. And at Taco Bell, when they say they are feeding people's lives with unexpected good, they mean it. Bowl food you can't get anywhere else.
Well, Brett, what I learned today, Memphis started their baseball season on the road at Jacksonville State, a good Jacksonville State opponent to start the season off with, and we're going to extra innings, tied 5-5 in
Free
the ninth.
baseball.
Free baseball on opening day, nothing better. I mentioned it a couple weeks ago, but this team picked third to finish third in the conference D1 baseball. We'll see if they can start it with a positive, with a win on day one.
We've got what I learned. We've got a golf update from Dallas.
Oh,
Voice of
here
the
we go.
Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
All
He
right.
sent in scores.
Okay.
Very difficult layout.
Okay.
Really didn't know total score.
Okay.
Did break 90.
Okay.
Thinks he shot 87.
All
Johnny,
right.
you win.
How about that? Johnny's a winner. I love that. That's great. What I could have done without, we talked about the Tiger Woods WD earlier, and I'm seeing now some updates from that. The Athletic is reporting that Tiger Woods has been dealing with illnesses this week, and that it was more of an illness than it was an injury. I don't know. I was about to say, I don't know how much I trust that. But either way, Tiger Woods not being able to finish a tournament, you never want to see.
I could do without this. Joe Lenardi wrote this morning, no one talks about Houston Cougars, and winning at all, but they should. I have for a year.
Yeah.
I said last year, I think this era of Houston Cougar basketball is better than Guy V. Lewis and Phi Slamma Jamma. That had Akeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler. I know it's hard to have two players top that, and it's hard to have a groovy nickname like that, but I think they're better. I've been talking a year. I thought this Houston team could win it all.
No, yeah, I'm with you. This Houston team is really, really, really good, and I think they've got a great shot in March. Where are you beaming this weekend?
Marquette at UConn. Bruce Marshall
one.
talked about it, and I didn't realize this. I didn't remember it from last year. Marquette beat them 2 or 3 times last year when when UConn was steamrolling to a national championship.
Yeah.
It feels like they could do that again this year.
Yeah, no, that's a really good one. Being me to this Kentucky-Auburn game over the
Kentucky's
weekend.
walking into one there.
Woo! I mean, it is really turned in. You mentioned this earlier this week. Auburn is turning into one of the toughest places to play in the country. The way that arena is set up, the interaction with the students and the fans, it is a really, really great environment down there.
It's not brick and mortar. It's not you build it and they'll come.
Right.
If you build a great arena and you have a good team in it, then they really show up.
Absolutely, and we've seen that. But it's going to be a great weekend in college basketball. NBA, we've got All-Star Weekend, so that will be a ton of fun.
Don't freeze to death out at college baseball this weekend.
Please do not freeze to death. Don't freeze to death here. I mean, it's going to be high of 41 tomorrow. It's going to be cold. But that's all the time we have. Make sure you get out here to the Agri Center for the home show of the Mid-South. They'll be out here all weekend, 10 to 7 tomorrow, 10 to 6 on Sunday, $10 to get in, so it's a great deal. That's all the time we have. Enjoy your night, and we'll talk to you again Monday afternoon.